at Natural Grocery. They have dandelion root over there, but I can get dandelion flowers in Hergel.
Right.
You know, I was surprised that they had dried elderberry. Really.
Right. You know, because, well, those are the things that we're looking for, right? You know, when we're going to try to think about things that are going to be supporting our immune systems and more, you know, this is what you'd want to be thinking about.
Right.
So, you know, that's all. Because, you know, this is one of the most important parts about the coronavirus if people haven't really been paying attention. And for those who have been saying, oh, it's just a cold. Your immune system is going to matter on this one. It's going to be what your body can handle. Okay? So it's not just as simple as that. So that's why I think it's important.
Right.
I'm just trying to talk to one of our listeners right now because I'm going to help them out. So, just wanted to let them know. I should pull up the chat too while I have a second here, Red.
Yes, you should pull up the chat. I will go in there in a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, it was just being really slow when everything kind of started up tonight for the show, so I had to give it a moment to get its life together. The computer's been having a hard time. But that's alright. So we're going to click on FRN Radio on FreedomRevolutionNetwork.com. We're going to click Clarity After Dark. And let's go see. Alright. Oh, I didn't mean to. Hope I didn't press myself. There we go. So, big shout out to MyPatriotSupply.com. We have started partnering with MyPatriotSupply.com. They offer survival food, dehydrated food packs, water and air purification systems to get you through any emergencies. I put in a order last night for the Ready Hour kits. They're 72-hour survival kits that have 16 servings in them apiece, 25-year shelf life. They're a great company. I've ordered from them in the past. I've tried their food. I've brought it camping. Probably had some when I even came to see you. Yeah, the kids loved that pudding. I remember that. Kids loved the pudding. They were on that.
Right.
They were on that. And much more. So please go to FreedomRevolutionNetwork.com. Click on our My Patriot Supply link. And that will bring you to My Patriot Supply, and you can find all of the goodies. And look for the deal of the day, because these deals of the day are pretty good. Yesterday's deal of the day was a number 10 can of broccoli cheddar soup for $14. Today's deal was breakfast muffins, blueberry breakfast muffins, number 10 can, $9. So you really can't beat those prices. Very good quality stuff, good tasting stuff, long lasting, and a company that refuses to back down to the government. You know, this is a company who's been threatened by the United States government. Give us your stocks because we want to purchase what you've got, and they've said no. So this is a company you want to give your money to, because this is a company who believes in Americans. They also do military discount, by the way. And you don't have to prove much for the military discount. I'm sure all you have to do is call their 1-800 number and tell them, like, you know, your husband served, and you'll get the military discount. And it's a good discount. So, with that being said, that is our plug for My Patriot Supply. We will have next week 3 of the 72-hour kits, and one of them I will at least open up to show you the packaging of it and what you get in it. I've only ordered in bulk from them before, so it'll be interesting to see what they put in their 72-hour kit, how they do the servings, what they include, and we'll give a real review. So they said they changed up their packaging a little bit, changed, what they put in there, so I'm excited. My Patriot Supply, supported us right away and said they were glad to have us on their team. So thank you to mypatriotsupply.com.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, it's nice to have groups to be affiliated with on Freedom Revolution Network. We also have an upcoming We're going to have a lot of giveaways coming up, people. Lots of giveaways. I already have one deal secured with Up North CBD store. They will be doing a CBD and Kratom giveaway. So one lucky winner will, win a CBD or Kratom package. One of each will be given. And we'll give details on that soon. We have another deal that's coming up for a Zeolite product for $5 a bottle to help detox your family. And these are all ran by really good Patriot people. We've got some jewelry offers that will be able to be bid on silent auction style, so you can get yourself some awesome handcrafted beaded jewelry. Special custom requests might be available. We'll be supporting a new local massage company with a local gal here in Minneapolis who owns a studio. She has aqua massage table and does massage, and so we'll be promoting them as well because they want Scarlett to check it out and want to give any of our local listeners the ability to go receive a massage as well. So we've got a lot of good partnerships coming up here on Freedom Revolution Network, so people stay tuned. And we'll give you details on how to join. We'll have a contest/giveaway page to kind of explain what we'll be doing, how we're going to go about it, how you can enter, how you can win. And so it should be a great time. Is it that exciting, Red?
That is.
I know. So, with that being said, let's get into some of the news tonight. I'd like to start with covering coronavirus. Okay, let's go see what the current update is for coronavirus right now. And over the weekend, we will be building our coronavirus page. So please check for freedomrevolutionnetworks.com's update for coronavirus. And we also have a seismic update page as well, too, that we'll be building. So that way, with these updates, we can put them all in one place, and you guys can find them quickly and easily. So, with that being said. So, basically, one of the things that they've done right now that's concerning me is they've decided, Facebook, as well as other media networks, have decided that they are going to be combating misinformation about the coronavirus. Now, what concerns me about this is it's starting to seem... Now, we know they already, have censorship in place, or what they believe are community standards, right? And what concerns me about this is now they're going to dictate what information is being let out. The information that we're already getting from China is half-truths, because let's remember, they live under a communist regime. They are controlled. They are not allowed to move freely. Okay? They've already had their rights taken away from them. So we have to be really careful about what we believe from the Chinese government. They have tried to lie, cheat, and steal any way they can from the United States. And that's true. And we've done it to them because it's been a global game of espionage. But at this point, I think we need to come to terms with this is turning into more of a global policy Agenda 21 Smart Cities Initiative project under the guise of one world government, because they know that if they can scare everybody into hurting together because of this disease, they can implement rules and put us under what now we are under, I like to call medical martial law, for the foreseeable future. Because when does this epidemic end? I mean, last time SARS was around, it lasted for over a year. It was 18 months. Are we going to be under a national health emergency for 18 months?
I don't know.
Because this is concerning. When have we called a national health emergency before? I have not been able to find this information, and I'm going to keep working on it. I don't know if another one has been called. Maybe for like polio or something? I mean, that's the only thing I could think of. Maybe like polio. Like, I don't know. But I don't remember any in the, maybe smallpox?
Right.
I mean, I don't know. So I'm
kind of odd that Chinese people in general were like standing up against the government and doing things like trying to verify due powers and like keeping on and making a stand, and now some of that was taking it all out.
Well, that's just it. You know, that's what's also concerning me. It's like, okay, these people started protesting. They started, you know...
very vividly, like, out in the open, like, they were protesting.
Right. That's what I mean. And so, I've got a concern about that. Because they were protesting and now Hong Kong is locked down until March 3rd even for school. They're not even going back to school till March 3rd. Okay?
Right.
That's over a month at this point. Okay? Kids won't be going to school. Okay, what about the teachers who work? So they're not going to get paid. Okay? Unless I guess the Communist Party has some backup that, you know, pays for people when they can't work. But I don't know. I think they sent you to the Gulag in China because of that. I mean, maybe I'm just, you know, exaggerating, but I don't know. Because people are saying that trucks are coming by at night, picking up all the people who are sick, locking people in apartment buildings, burning the apartment buildings down. We've got some issues.
Right.
You know, if this is true, there is smoke supposedly coming out of the Wuhan area, but if everybody's inside, where's the smoke coming from? Now you're going to tell me everybody got wood stoves? And now everybody's inside, and now everybody's wood stoves wasn't doing this before. You know what I mean? Like, where's the smoke signature coming from? You want to say there's wildfires or something in the middle of winter? Like, I'm going to need some explanation about why there are large smoke signatures coming out of the Wuhan area, like constant large smokestacks that are covering everywhere. You know, thick smoke, and people are reporting a smell in the air. And, you know, one thing I've known that I got into when I was a young woman was Holocaust research, right? And the one thing, I've read many Holocaust books. By the time I was in high school, I'd read every Holocaust book that was nonfiction that exists in the library in my area. And so I know what these people talked about when they said, you know, we smelled this sweet smell. It's unlike anything else. You're smelling the smell of death. Burning death.
Right.
And there's a lot of people who are coming out, you know, with propaganda. Like, they're even sending people from Weibo to Facebook groups. Okay? They're sending people from Weibo to Facebook groups.
Right.
And now they're using that as propaganda. So they're sending people there, because I've never seen somebody from Weibo come on Facebook, ever. Okay, and now they're saying, oh, everything in Wuhan is fine. People are donating masks. I can go get masks. I can go to the store. I can do this. I can do that. The nurse that was supposedly from Wuhan isn't from Wuhan. Like, lady, where'd you come from? and sending a direct message from Weibo. We know Weibo is controlled as hell from China. So why all of a sudden will we get a Weibo message on Facebook that's linked? I've never seen Weibo messaged or linked on Facebook. Like, go to Weibo for this post, which is their Chinese Twitter. Okay, because it's all in Chinese characters, right? So I found that really strange. Right after they talk about, combating, this propaganda, of which they did speak about in Event 201. They went as far as to say they could not shut down the internet because of the mass panic that would occur, but they could shut down, so quote-unquote, misinformation about the virus. Mm-hmm. And that's basically what Facebook, NBC, and everybody else now has admitted. Zero Hedge today got their Twitter account deleted because they posted an article about how there is a potential connection with HIV to this coronavirus. This is why it's spreading and mutating the way it is, because it has characteristics of HIV. They got their Twitter deleted. Zero Hedge is a large alternative media company. They got their Twitter deleted. Account suspended by Twitter. We've been trying to tell you guys for over a week that this was serious. Okay? Now they're cracking down on us like the goddamn gulag. Okay, this is why I'm concerned now. This is where Scarlett's gonna fucking put off the sirens, because I'm telling you, they've shut us down from talking in a week. Since this broke, they've been trying to shut us down, and now they've admitted that they're gonna continue. This show might not even make it out on air. Hell, how long does this show stay up?
Right.
At this point, I'm concerned. I'm for real. And we've been trying to tell people how serious this was, and everybody's joking. I'll take my coronavirus with the side of Lyme disease. No, this is for real, because look, I was never concerned about the disease. Let me tell you why. Because, okay, either if you're going to catch something, you're either going to die. People die from the flu. I mean, you can't help when you get really sick, and then you just, your body can't take it no more. I mean, that's just it. Okay? But what you can do is try to be healthy. But what they can do is try to enact medical martial law. That's what I'm calling it. We'll call it MML. Okay? MML. That's what we're going to call it from now on. So they can enact MML. And now they can say what we're allowed to say. If we come in contact with a case or carrier, now we're going to get told that we have to self-contain and or be put into quarantine on some military base. They're being put on military bases. When in Wuhan, in China, most of the people who are being quarantined are being put in negative pressure hospitals and made sure that, this disease stays inside. But have these bases been retrofitted to take this negative pressure and now are basically, like little mini medical MMLs, camps? And with the guy who wrote the PGP message the other night, who's called Boris, okay, Boris came out and said that they're building MML camps in South Dakota and that they're rounding people up and they're going to try to evacuate all of NYC. Now, NYC, we know, had AB 99. In AB 99, they don't tell you where they can put you. They just say they will contain you in a medical facility or other compatible facility. They don't say where. They don't say you'll be put by your home. They don't even say it'll be in New York State. They technically don't say anywhere. They say they can use Section Title Code 8 and 42 from the U.S. Code. Okay? Which means they can try to stop the transmission of any communicable disease that they deem a health threat. Now the health threat has been deemed. So that means for the greater good, they are going to stop this no matter what. Which means all of us now could be at risk. And that's real. I mean, you go to the grocery store where somebody's at and then they become a potential case and now you're under surveillance. that simple. And the WHO, like you brought up earlier when we were talking off air, the WHO brought up that, hey, we don't want anybody to put any travel bans or declare any extra emergencies. We need people to work together. And here we have, with travel bans, we had pilots suing their own companies saying we're not flying. We've had multiple companies like Delta and others, and Norwegian Cruise Lines and many other places. Basically, everybody stopped flying to China. The only people who got out of China were the ones who could pay. So all them consulate people who they brought that plane back with 193 people, all them people paid. The rest of the folks who are there in China who are U.S. citizens now are SOL. They are stuck for the duration. That's shit too. We should have been sending all types of planes to go get them folks. Why they got to pay? That's bull.
Right? It is. It is bull.
Right? I don't care if they were just regular citizens, moved to China, whatever. I don't care if they still have U.S. citizenship. Y'all should have picked up all them folks with their passports and quit playing. Don't let them folks die off because they didn't have the money. Oh, so now this is an elite disease because everybody can go to a private hospital survives? See, I peeped game. Okay? I peeped game on this. I see it could be something like that. I've seen a document from a Chinese whistleblower who claims that they did a drill simulation on September 18th of this year in Wuhan for the coronavirus, of which their leaders of their town and all the head people got some antidote pill. That's why they ain't dropping dead.
Right.
That's what I heard. I can't confirm that. But it'd be interesting to know how many of the Wuhan officials have died. And most of the Chinese are on this island talking about we can better deal with the outbreak on this island. Oh, yes, because y'all all don't want to catch it.
Right.
Like they're safe on an island. It's an island. Like, who else? Like, no one's around you. Who are you playing with? That sounds like some ivory tower elite crap. Oh, we're on our island, and all you guys have to fend for yourself out there. It's terrible.
Right.
It's absolutely awful. I feel bad for all these people. We're at super high numbers now, okay? And we're at 11,952 confirmed cases, 259 deaths. Okay. It's pretty bad. I mean, and the symptoms only include fever, coughing, breathing difficulties, and then it can become fatal. I mean, that sounds like a cold, but then you die. So, I get what everybody's saying about this whole cold thing, but then you die. And you don't die from a cold. You don't die from the flu.
When I'm like, is it really the coronavirus? Because again, we only know what they fucking tell us, and none of us have the ability to fucking test this shit and tell you what it is. We have to take their word on what they're saying it is, and what's guaranteed. What they've told us it is what it actually is.
Man, you know what? For once, you're honestly right, and I don't know how to answer that question. I don't. It could all be just a ruse to start martial law, which a lot of people think it could be.
It's a measure of what they've really let loose out of our lives.
Yeah, now you know what? I saw a little clip that was talking about some nanovirus disease that's in 90% of people. Did you see that little clip?
With that 5G rolling out?
Mm-hmm. And then some nanobots get activated, and then people start dropping like flies, Now, like I said, once again, cannot confirm. But what I can say is, we need to be watching for everything at this point. We've heard too many stories of espionage, betrayal. The man who got arrested. Okay, so meanwhile, everybody's talking about this damn impeachment. Okay, government talking about impeachment. And then we've got a guy getting arrested for getting $50,000 payments from the Chinese government to send over samples. Besides the 2 Chinese spies. Doing too much. Doing too much. Okay? Nobody's talking about that, but that happened. Who is this guy? How come they decided to bust him now? A couple weeks into this going on. Okay? Where has Trump been to even say anything about it? He sure can talk about how farms are going to go to hell in Iowa if they don't vote for Trump. But we peep silent about the coronavirus? But you assembled a team for your coronavirus team, and now you have a health czar on the board, but we didn't hear a peep about it. I don't like that either.
Right, me neither.
Because you should have been saying something from day one, Trump. Day one. You should have been saying, hey, we're going to watch this. We're going to stay on top of it. You know, I'm going to, get my best people together. And we're going to create a board or a team or whatever. Panel. Whatever the hell they're calling themselves. And we're going to look into this. And if things change, we'll let you know. And if we have to, we will issue a global, a national health threat advisory. Right? Right.
Right.
None of that happened until today. The day after the WHO comes out, they come out saying crazy stuff. Now, this is the same week that this man has come out with the Middle East peace deal, right? And now they're basically telling Palestine they can't exist, right? Right, because that's what's actually happening. They're told they don't get no more land. The Jewish people who have settled in their places, they ain't got to leave. And it's cool because I don't know why Trump thinks this is cool, okay? Because you can't just take folks' land, okay? That's not cool. Okay? So, we got this Middle East peace deal. Basically, they done split Palestine and Jerusalem, okay? Trying to make their own separate state. But they only get a little teeny tiny sliver of land. Meanwhile, even 40 years ago, they had 3/4 more land, and Israel was a lot smaller. But Israel's been creeping on their land, and now they have nothing. So people need to research history and realize that these people are being edged out of their own land. And this is why they're fighting so hard. If somebody came to your town and your land and your ancestral beings and started picking at your land, and your boundaries started getting smaller and smaller to where all y'all are packed in like sardines, you might be fighting and throwing bombs and acting a fool too. Just saying. Okay? So, with that being said, now that we're treating the Chinese like rats in cages, they might revolt too. How long are they going to tolerate this? Did you see the drone video? Where the drone is chasing these people?
No, I didn't.
Oh, Lord. Okay, so there's this drone that's chasing people, right? And it's like... Okay, hold on. Because I'm just going to subtitle it, okay? And I want everybody to just think about it. And think about if you live in China, right? And this coronavirus thing is going on, right? And you decide to leave your house, right? Because, you're probably stir crazy by now, right? Because they didn't even warn you about locking you in, right? So now you're getting stir crazy, right? Okay. So this came from the Live Crisis News, okay, on Twitter. Let me see if I can find this, because I can maybe screen share this. Hold on for a moment. Let me get to my Twitter. Okay. 24/7 Crisis News. Let's see. Search Twitter. 24/7 Crisis News. Okay, we're going to try to find this. 24/7 Crisis News. Live Crisis News is what you got to search to find out. so I'm going to find that real quick. Okay, but think about it. Okay, so at Live Crisis News. So think about it. You live in China. You want to get out of the house. You decide to leave the house. And then this is what's going to happen. Okay, so we're going to go to their page. I found their page real quick. I'm going to find this video. And then we're going to play this video together, y'all. And we're all going to watch it together. And it's going to be subtitled. Okay. So let's get ready. Hold on, I got to pause it. Because it's trying to play without me. And then after that, we've got Dwayne waiting. So I'm going to share the screen. Okay. Here it is. We're going to optimize screen for sharing video clip, share the computer sound, and we're going to play this. And everybody, can you see the captions? Okay.
你不戴口罩就不要出去，不要乱跑，记得赶紧回家，回家洗洗手，对吧？注意一下卫生，对吧？咱们好像中国人都说你的说我非得派无人机过来陪你。 大爷，这是非常时期，你不戴口罩又往外跑，对吧？那许过几个月也能化，对不对？在家里面待着不舒服吗？对吧？又有吃的又有喝的，刚过了个年，你干嘛老往外跑？对吧？过几年也能收拾。别笑了，赶紧骑你的三轮车回家，对吧？没事别往出跑，看口罩也不戴，你还看啥？赶紧走，对吧？回家好好待着去。 非常时期，赶紧回去。对面那个机动车上装着粉色等分贝的大灯，请你戴上口罩，戴上口罩。打电话的帅哥，你口罩呢？赶紧给戴上。迎面走过来的美女边上的那位帅哥，看到你戴着口罩了啊，把口罩戴边好，再戴好。边走边上几位美女，抓紧的把口罩戴上。 东西可以回家吃。小朋友，现在是非常时期，别在外面溜达，口罩也别戴，赶快往家走。现在这冠状病毒多严重啊，快跑！别再出来了啊，在家好好待着，为社会做贡献。
Okay, so. You see how they say, like, we're in unusual times. Why are you outside without your mask? Why did you come outside? Why are you walking out here? Old man, you know the snow is going to melt in a few months. Why are you tending to this? Why do you always come outside? Why did you come outside with your mask? Like, they're literally, like, threatening them through drones, y'all.
What the hell?
Threatening them through drones. They told the little boy, why are you outside alone? You better run home now. The coronavirus is very serious. We're in unusual times, little boy. Run home now. And the little boy ran. What? Like, what kind of dystopian world are we living in where drones are running after people, threatening them? You see the traffic police woman, like the lollipop woman that's really popular in Japan, she's yelling at people through a drone. Hey, guy on the pink motorbike with the pink jacket, where's your mask? Why are you outside without your mask? Like, whoa! Like public shaming. And then remember, people have these social credit scores over there. And the first 8 people who even brought up coronavirus were taken care of by the government for misinformation. What does that mean?
Right?
So I'm just saying, this has gone way beyond. They've also told people in Wuhan that they must kill their pets. They either must deal with their pets by this weekend, or they will. They're making people kill their family pets. This has gone way too far. to Stockholm Syndrome people into believing that this is the way it's supposed to be. And this is not the way it's supposed to be.
Right, it's not.
Like, this is wild. Just absolutely wild. And so if we don't think for a minute that some of these things couldn't come here with restriction of travel and some of the restrictions that could be put on us, we've got another thing coming. Because they're already doing it in China. And we don't know what a national health emergency entails. And so with that, we're going to bring on Dwayne. Hello, Dwayne.
Hello.
How are you?
Dwayne.
Hi, Red. I'd be better if my county did not go on high alert for the freaking coronavirus today.
Well, everybody did. It's a national health emergency.
I guess we had 2 kids come back from China's Wuhan province.
Okay, so
And
that's
hold on. I'll read part of what the article says that I have pulled up on my phone since my laptop's not being
Right.
smart.
well, Wuhan's the city.
It
So-
says local health departments say they're prepared to battle the coronavirus spreading in China if it shows up here. So far, Stark County has no suspected or confirmed infections, but by what the Ohio Department of Health calls novel coronavirus. Health officials are investigating Ohio's 2 only suspected cases at Miami University in Oxford, Ohio, with tests on 2 students who traveled to China expected later this week. The U.S. has 5 confirmed novel coronavirus cases as of Monday, according to the U.S. by the CDC. But I guess also what they said, it's a novel virus, which means it's a new virus we don't know a lot about the course of the disease or how severe it could be. Adams said if it turns out the virus is more lethal than other coronaviruses, it has the potential to turn into a very large, very severe pandemic.
Well, that's basically where everybody's at. What we're concerned about, though, is that what the public health policy that follows. Okay, we've already been covering public health policy through the, anti-vaccination movement. And we know what type of draconian laws that they've been trying to put in place just for communicable childhood diseases, right? And they keep saying, even with the coronavirus, well, it's a little bit more serious than the flu, but it's not as bad as the measles. When nobody's died from measles since 2015 in the United States.
See, and that's exactly what I just went through with somebody actually on our own team today, Scarlett.
Yes.
See, because it's funny you say that, because when I reported this on the coronavirus on Zello, Patriot Queen jumped ship all over me today.
Interesting.
All over me today.
Today was the day for shit starting, apparently, but that doesn't surprise me, though. But like we talked about at the beginning of the program, there's a lot of people right now who are really underplaying this. Okay, now colds and flu usually don't take out people. Okay, usually it's the immunocompromised. A lot of people who have had their flu shots die anyway. Like, this is something that's always happened, okay, throughout the years, right?
Right.
And so this isn't something new. 10,000 people usually die a year, but that's out of 350 million people in the United States, okay? Now, this year in particular has been worse for flu, but flu season had last longer too. It started in August of this year and has lasted through now and is just now peaking when really it should have been peaking next month, the month after. So it's ahead of schedule. So yes, we're seeing more serious consequences. They said recently Minnesota's having their worst flu season since 2009. Now, I'm not particularly seeing that personally, but I remember catching the flu in 2009 when somebody had it, and we were working, in the mall, and so you catch all types of diseases in the mall. And then I went down for a few days, and it was fine. You just have to watch your body. Once you feel your body getting too weak and you have to medically intervene unless you keep your body healthy through herbs or homeopathy or other methods. So I think what people need to understand is not necessarily the coronavirus itself that's the problem. It is the public health policy that they will try to push down, as well as the quarantine techniques, as well as the travel restrictions, as well as the stigmas. Because, see, look, if people start catching this in the United States, people are going to start shunning each other until a vaccine occurs. There could be violence against people who have this disease. You could lose your job over it. There could be many different scenarios that I think people aren't thinking about. They could stop commerce. They could stop trade. They could stop mail from China. If they've stopped flights from China, they're going to stop mail pretty soon.
Right, and what a lot of people aren't knowing, too, is they're testing first responders.
Yeah.
Because, I'll speak openly, we were tested last week.
See, so they know something's going on.
50 to 60, now mind you, I run a 40 to 50 man station.
Right.
All 50 of us, within a 4-day span, had blood work drawn. Mandatory. We refused blood work being drawn. We lost our jobs. We lost our certifications. They were going to yank this from us. And was forced to run a training to run out. During the middle of the summer when it happened, we can't even wear long sleeve t-shirts. I meant short sleeve. This is so serious, that even us first responders are taking precautions. That should right there obviously show you that if your first responders are taking caution, so should you. You know what I'm saying? Can I still be heard?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Everybody is dilly-dallying around with this shit. This is literally life or fucking death. Stop playing Russian roulette with your life. Plain and simple. I don't know what any other way to put it over the last 3 weeks.
I mean, we've only known about this for a week in the United States. China didn't even talk about it. They didn't even tell their people about it. They heard rumors, and they've been trying to, quote-unquote, suppress the netizens. That's what they call their people on the internet in China. But they didn't even admit to them until this week, or put lockdowns until last week when they were told, hey, in 9 hours we're going to shut down the city, and people mass exodused out of Wuhan, over 5 million people of the 11 million population, and who went to God knows who where.
Right.
And throughout 13 other cities that were locked down systematically. Tons of people fled. Millions of people fled. And tomorrow, people are going to be let back on trains to go home. Well, actually, today, it's happening right now.
And here's another thing that I caught. I read in Scarlet, I don't know if you caught this, but we're kind of seeing our first case here in the U.S. where it was spread by human-to-human contact.
Yeah. Yep.
The wife gave it to the husband.
Yep.
So, I mean, at first we just thought this was airborne. But now, wait a minute. The game has completely fucking changed. Human to human.
Well, and they say you infect 2 to 6 people, and it's an 83% infection rate, so if you come in contact with somebody, there's an 83% chance that you will actually come down with the infection itself.
Right.
So, it's out of control.
You know, well, I'm trying to be polite by saying this.
Okay.
And yes, I'm being polite for once.
Oh, well, thank you. Appreciate it.
Because Patriot Queen kind of made a point earlier today.
Okay, which was?
What if the coronavirus being spread in the U.S., okay,
Mm-hmm.
is trying to be a cover-up for the 19 different states that have lost their guns?
Could be. And because see, look, this is what I've been saying, though. I said this before her. You know what it equals? They put us in these MML camps, and then they pull us away from our guns because we're all sick, or that they say we're sick, and then they just snatch us away from our homes and our guns. Bam, boom, done.
But I have another theory behind it, too. Okay? Because this is where my fucked up brain's gonna think. Okay, look at espionage. Not espionage, but terrorism.
Yeah.
Scarlett, we brought this up.
Well, yeah, I've already talked about the Super Bowl thing. I just posted that in Intel about how this gentleman believes that this is going to happen at the Super Bowl, that they're going to release coronavirus protocols and then tell everybody that, you know, all these people are infected and people are going to go from every state to the Super Bowl, because they do, and they're going to bring it home to everywhere that they came from.
See? What if it was another... No.
All this has to do is be a plan for the New World Order to take over. It's very simple. They said they're doing it through the World Economic Forum, through, you know, the Council on Foreign Relations, through Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, through Johnson & Johnson, through everyone. Literally everyone. This is their play, because they can't take rights any other way, but they can scare the shit out of people with the disease and make them come to their knees. It's that simple.
See, I wasn't even thinking about the companies. I was thinking about another fucking country.
No, companies work together now. Companies are the new countries. They are the new players at the table.
Ah.
They have money. They have more money than small countries. So they get to come to the table. And they get to decide policy. And they get to decide what happens because they're paying in, you see? And so they've got bribes and special interests and all this other shit. And so it's something to watch. Because what if it does happen? It would spread like wildfire. And then the national health emergency is already put in place. So it's not hard then to quarantine and then put people where you want them.
Right, and then the mandatory quarantine was put in place today. You know, which I seen you posted that.
Yeah.
You know, so now we have all this shit.
And you're not going to be able to refuse going, because then they'll probably try to tell your neighbors and everybody else, and then your neighbors will basically make you go. It'll be like Nazis because they'll snitch on you. And it's going to be really dangerous. I don't think it's going to be dog eat dog.
Right.
Okay, if we start seeing this actually places, and we actually start seeing the coronavirus spread here, or we actually start seeing United States deaths, well, it's going to be a bloodbath. People already try to shit on people to get to the top over the internet. Let it be a disease. If they even think, like they've already done it to the man who flew on the Southwest flight that was going to Las Vegas. So, guy's going to Las Vegas, right?
Right.
And he's on Southwest, and he puts his head back on the headrest, and he's got a little bit of cough, and he's talking to the stewardess, and he's like, I feel a little woozy, blah blah blah, right? She then flips out, okay, disappears behind the curtain, all right. Talks to somebody on her headset, then comes out to this man and his wife, right, and says, with another person, and says, you are going to take these pills right now, or we are going to land this flight.
I saw this video.
I didn't.
Okay, and they told him, either you take these pills, or we're landing this flight. And if you don't take these pills, we're going to land the flight. So take these pills right now. They did not tell him what these pills were. They did not say where they got them from. His wife said he's not taking any pills. They said, oh, yes, you are. He said, oh, no, I'm not. They said, we're landing the plane if not. He takes the pills. They land the plane anyway. They take him out in hazmat suits in the ambulance, and now he's under quarantine.
See.
All because he said he felt woozy on a flight. How many people have been on a flight feeling woozy or was drunk or hungover or, whatever? It's absolutely insane.
See, something's not right with that.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'd be suing the airline. How you gonna try to make me take some pills? Like, seriously, like, you can't just force pills on people. You don't know their allergies. You're not a nurse. You don't have a right to give people pills in flight.
right.
That's what concerns me, is this is totally out of the normal, and people are already freaking out, and this was a week ago. So what's going to happen when it really gets saturated here and people actually start having cases?
Right.
If they are already panicking and freaking out, and nothing has happened yet.
Right. See, now that's scary.
Yeah, people are going to freak out. This is the type of stuff we usually talk about in USCF when we do these, disaster drills and stuff. We talk about the end, but now this one is pandemic.
Right.
If people can't get food or supplies or what they need, they're going to fight for it. There's going to be looting. There's going to be potential riots. People could shoot each other if they think you have it. It could turn into like a Walking Dead situation where people are like, if we think you have it, we're going to kill you.
Right.
We haven't seen any of the people who have recovered, so we don't know what they're like afterwards. What if this is like some like mind control type disease?
Right.
We don't know what this is. We don't, Red. And that's the scariest part of all. We actually don't know what this is. No, and we have to trust them.
I said that earlier.
You did.
I said that earlier. I said, unfortunately, well, I didn't say it this way. Let's say it a little bit different last time. Change it up a little bit. This is a local board, right?
Right.
Unfortunately, we are at the mercy of being...
Dwayne, can you turn your background noise down a little?
It's not in my background.
No, I said Dwayne.
I'll mute myself real quick.
Thank you.
Okay. So, what I had said, what I was saying is, that we unfortunately are at the mercy of being told what a contagion is.
Yep.
Because none of us are capable of going out there and being like, oh, you know what?
Here's my microscope.
I want to see it for myself and then be able to determine what it actually is. None of us can do that.
No, we can't.
Okay?
We can't.
So we are at the mercy of these people going, oh, it is this. But just because they're saying that that's what it is, does not mean that that's what it is. It just means that that's what they're telling you it is. Because we're at the mercy of being told by them what it is. And we have no way of being able to actually gain our own knowledge about that.
Yeah, that's true.
Knowledge is information obtained through experience. We have no way of gaining knowledge on it because none of us are able to go out there and be like, I want a sample of that, I want to test it, and then be able to say what it is.
Yeah.
And the people that are able to do that, unfortunately, are controlled by our government.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
So they can tell you it's coronavirus until they're blue in the damn face. But coronavirus doesn't equal you sitting there reading a book in a lobby of what appears to be a hotel and stand up and do some weird like shit thing and fall out on the ground dead.
Right? Did you see that video? And then people supposedly bleeding from the mouth and stuff. Now, we don't know if these videos are new or not, but if they are, hold on.
Well, even if they're not new, they were videoed at some point.
Right. So what is that?
So has this been an ongoing thing? You know, I mentioned this before. And I hate to go into a movie thing because, you know, it's chicken feed. But again, it's chicken feed, y'all. They put it in Hollywood so you won't believe it when it freaking happens in real life. Because you're going to go, oh, people are just comparing it to this movie. And they're all wrapped up in Hollywood conspiracy theories. Assholes. No, assholes. Read the CIA declassified files. Read all the information. Do your actual research. You will learn that they call this shit chicken feed. It's an actual terminology that they use.
True. Chicken
So,
feed.
Resident Evil being the chicken feed that they've used, is this Raccoon City? Have they been experimenting on these people this whole time and now it's finally gotten out of control and they're like, oh shit!
Right, and now they gotta come up with a way to fucking find a cure for it.
Right, but there ain't no cure, see? They ain't got no cure. There's never been a cure. This don't got no cure. You have done mutations equaling into some crazy bioweaponry shit that you don't want to talk about. And hence why you're killing people, shooting people, locking them in their houses.
Killing their animals! Killing their animals!
Killing their animals. Because you don't know what more mutations. You're trying to stop shit before we actually see shit like the Resident Evil monsters. Because that's the kind of shit coming up. And I would also like to add, just because they say these people died, does that mean that they really died?
Right, or are they in some secret concentration camp? You ain't never lied. Because they like to put people in concentration camps in China. Just saying.
You know,
They do.
Another thought. Are they just dead to us because you've taken them somewhere else before the mutation does more to them that you don't want us knowing about?
Yeah. You know what? That's a really good point. Is it like The Walking Dead?
But what if this is a different form of the Holocaust?
Well, that's just, well, it's a genocide for sure. I mean, regardless. I mean, we're watching, you know, the last few pandemics have wiped out tons of Chinese. I know they have a large population, but why isn't India wiped out the same way? And India has just the largest population.
Again, I hate to be this person, but their actual fucking emblem for the lab in Wuhan looks exactly like the Umbrella Corporation.
You're right, though. You ain't never lied.
Right?
Yeah, you're right.
Come on.
You're right about that.
White and red umbrella, y'all.
It's true.
That you've never lied.
It's true.
Okay? That is the logo for the 4th level lab, which is only one of maybe 2 in all of China.
Yeah, I think they said 2 BSL level 4 labs in China.
But we can't find the second one.
Yeah, where's the second one? Why aren't they talking about that? Because we have a bioweapons treaty of 1985 that is supposed to be followed, and a lot of people feel like China has, you know, gone back on the treaty. And, you know, I don't know what to think. With American scientists, Chinese scientists, all these people with hands on it, how do we know? We don't know. They're passing this around like a damn hot potato.
Okay, because I'm just saying, okay? The fucking logo is the exact same as the Umbrella Corporation. They're telling us it's the coronavirus, which is supposed to be a simple, like, cold, respiratory thing, right?
Right.
All kind of upper, lower respiratory, mutating into the lower, started as upper. Okay, we can handle this. This ain't no big deal. But I'm telling you all, you don't have upper respiratory without fucking symptoms.
Right.
Okay? I'm no scientist, but I've been sick in my day, okay? I have had pneumonia. I have had bronchitis.
I have too.
I have had the common cold. I have had the common flu. I have had all sorts of shit like that throughout my lifetime on this earth. And I'm telling you right now, your lungs do not fill up with fluid and you just don't know it.
Right.
Okay, they also, people, do not just like spontaneously go through it. It's not like you're sitting there and all of a sudden, whoop, full fluid and you fall over and you die. That does not happen. They fill up slowly. They don't just, whoop, you're full and you're gonna die. No, it happens slowly. You're gonna know you can't breathe.
Yep. True that.
Right, which is exactly why still to this day, even though I don't need it, I don't fucking need the thing, I still carry an inhaler and I still get them.
Yep.
Due to this simple reason, I feel I can't breathe. I'm gonna take 2 puffs of an antihistamine, whatever the hell it's called, I don't remember the name of it, and take that bitch and
Bronchodilator.
coming out of my mouth.
Well, you could take as many puffs as you need. A doctor at Mayo Clinic, when I had asthma, told me with inhalers that you don't have to stop at 2 puffs. The only potential side effect is that you could have racing heart, but if you're actually having an issue where you can't breathe, you need to take as many puffs as it takes to stop the episode, because it's similar to a nebulizer at that point.
Right, because like,
So they told me literally take as many puffs as it takes. Like, do not listen to the 2 puffs every 8 hour bullshit. Like, if you gotta empty that into your lungs, do it, because it will reverse you out of an attack.
exactly, because I have natural fluid built around my lungs. I always have.
Right.
See, Dwayne, you know what I'm saying, right? Like, I'm not fucking crazy on this.
I was born, they couldn't catch it when I was born, but when I was born, from what they said, I've had natural fluid, water, in my lungs. I can fucking feel when I can't breathe.
See?
Like, and I'm a smoker, so I have coughing fits, and I have breathing fits.
See?
It doesn't fucking help that I'm fat either, so I have to use an inhaler just to get up the fucking steps.
Okay, now stop. Just stop. Stop right there. I have to be me for a moment. Dwayne, you are not fat. Don't talk down on yourself. You are your worst critic. Now is not the time. This is not the energy time to be down on self, because those thoughts bring in bad things, which brings in illness. Don't do that to yourself, homie. Don't bring yourself down like that. You are an amazing, awesome person, and we need you in this world.
Alright, I shouldn't have said that. I should have said that later. Like, when I was off air. Sorry. But no.
And there's no time for that anytime.
Fluid built up around your lungs.
No, seriously, Dwayne, like, Red is a Reiki master.
Important, homie.
Yeah, Red's a Reiki master. Like, she knows what she's talking about with energy. Like, seriously, like, you don't want to put that energy into your world. It will drag your immune system down.
You know what? I take that back.
You are lovable, you are capable, and you are about it.
Okay. As your authentic self, you are likable, and you are more than enough.
Yep.
You
Amen.
know what? That just brought my spirits back up. We're good. Let's do this.
Alright. Yes. Get it, Dwayne.
So the fluid built up around the lungs, okay? For a fluid to kill you in your lungs.
In less than a week?
Okay.
No.
Man, let's hear it.
Can take anywhere from 3 weeks to a month and a half for a fluid buildup. It takes 3 weeks.
But these folks are dying in less than a week with pus coming out of their lungs, dude. Like,
well, because here's the thing: it takes about two weeks for fluid to even show in the lungs.
right.
For a fluid buildup to show in your lungs, it takes about 2 weeks to show up on a CT scan.
Right.
Right. To even diagnose or to even hear a rattle in your lungs. Because the way a doctor diagnoses an upper respiratory infection, what does he do? He takes a stethoscope and listens to your chest. The front of your lungs and the back of your lungs.
Alright?
Now, mind you, like I said, I have fluid, so every time I breathe and they listen, they hear wheezing.
Right, a rattle or something, yeah.
So they have to run a CT scan
Right.
naturally on my chest, or run an X-ray on my chest to make sure I don't have excess fluids.
Right, or like pneumonia, or walking pneumonia, or, you know.
Right, so normally about every 2 or 3 weeks, I am in the ER getting a nebulizer treatment
Right.
because I have fluids.
Right.
I'm constantly spitting up phlegm.
Right.
So, but for something that severely to kill you, yours would take like a month to 2 months.
But it ain't taking a month or 2 months. It's taking a week, and people are going down like tons of bricks.
See,
See what I mean? Like, we know how lung function works and how pulmonary function works. I was an asthmatic for the first 18 years of my life.
well, no, I'm just explaining it so.
No, I'm agreeing with you, Dwayne. But what I'm saying,
I love the fact that we can say something, especially me being what now I have to classify myself as a folk healer, medicine woman, whatever I guess you want to put whichever label on me. But for me to be able to say something, and then for you to come back as a paramedic and working in the medical field to be like, yes, red is correct. And that is just more to the point of we're not just pulling this stuff from some random place.
no.
Right. You know.
And they're talking about now you can get reinfected. So they're saying people who have recovered, there's still a risk of being infected again and should avoid any mass gathering, even dancing, or in public parks or squares.
I would like to point out the one thing, which is the first case diagnosed in, I believe it was Wuhan, China, that was diagnosed there and refused actual treatment and went to traditional Chinese treatment. Was the first one cured and has not relapsed. I'm just throwing it out there.
Right, but they're talking about, the antibodies don't last for a long time, so there's a risk that the recovered patients can become infected again. They should continue to keep themselves protected.
Still watching cartoons.
So look at this. You can even catch the virus, almost die, recover, and catch the shit again.
So, no vaccine gives you shit for you today.
No, because if you could catch it again, what the hell is it going to do?
I said it. If you can re-get it, once you get it, no vaccine is going to stop you from getting it.
Yeah, because you'd have to be able to develop antibodies, because that last article we read last week about how when we did the mini show about how, basically childhood viruses, should act like, once it's 60% saturated of the population, okay, because you develop antibodies according to, like, the childhood immune response. Well, if we're not getting that immune response, you can't create a vaccine that's going to mimic the immune response either, because there's no immune response.
Right.
See, because look at it. Look at it this way, okay? Antibodies do not start from, Red, correct me if I'm wrong, it's been a minute since I've done my studies. Antibodies don't start in a human until they're about 1 or 2 years old. Naturally. That's without that.
Some antibodies start right away because of breast milk.
Yeah, some start almost immediately at birth, especially if you're breastfeeding.
Yep.
So that's not necessarily true, but it would depend on those antibodies. But most of those antibodies reference that you're going to get, those ones, is because you're being given the
antibody. Yeah, and like
now antibodies aren't being made naturally.
Antibodies are still made naturally, but this coronavirus is new, so nobody's going to have antibodies for it till you catch it.
Nobody's going to have antibiotics.
That's why everybody's going down like flies, because nobody has any protection from it. You see, but once the herd immunity starts kicking in, when everybody starts catching it, but if you can catch it more than once and it turns up like shingles where you can keep catching it as long as your immune system response is low, that's not good either, because when it's taking people down like tons of bricks, if you catch it once and you catch it twice, do you survive? Like, people aren't surviving it once. Right.
And this is where I get confused, because here's my thing. Because Scarlett, we touched on this last week.
Right.
And somehow I fell asleep randomly.
Yes. Continue, Dwayne. Redeem yourself.
We're being treated in a hospital for this in Chicago.
Well, the one woman, and then now her husband that she transferred it to.
So how are people being treated for it?
Isolation rooms, supportive care, possibly HIV antivirals too. They are using some HIV antivirals in this as well.
So, y'all know that...
I just pulled up that article too, so once you get done, I'm going to read the article about it.
Y'all know that I have my herbology and that I'm a holistic practitioner, and
Right.
that's kind of my jam.
Right.
People not get sick, okay? So we're going to talk about something right now.
Hold on, let me talk about this first before we finish, because we'll get into that in a second. Hold on, let me do this first, because this article is quick, and it's the reason why Zero Hedge got cut off Twitter today. Okay, so they believe that over the past few days, media has pushed back on a theory about how the origins of the coronavirus that now has infected as many as 70,000 people in Wuhan, depending on whom you believe, which The Guardian came out with that information, and The Lancet. The theory is that China obtained the coronavirus via a Canadian research plan and started molding it to a bioweapon at the Institute of Virology in Wuhan. PolitiFact pointed the finger at Zero Hedge, in particular, that the story was widely shared across independent-leaning media. The theory is that the virus, which was developed by infectious disease experts to function as a bioweapon, originated in the Wuhan lab of Dr. Peng Zhu, China's preeminent researcher of bat immune systems, specifically in how their immune systems adapt to the presence of virus like coronavirus and other destructive viruses. Somehow the virus escaped the lab, and the Hunan fish market where the virus supposedly originated is merely a ruse. Now, a respected epidemiologist who caught flack for claiming in a Twitter thread that the virus appeared to be much more contagious than initially believed, pointing out irregularities in the virus's genome that suggest it might be genetically engineered for the purposes of a weapon, but not just any weapon, but the deadliest of all. The uncanny similarity to unique inserts in the 2019 nCoV spike protein to HIV-1GP120 and GAG, Indian researchers are baffled by the segment of the virus's RNA that have no relation to other coronaviruses like SARS, and instead appear to be closer to HIV. The virus even's response to treatment by HIV medications. For those who press for time, here are the key findings from the paper, which first focuses on the unique nature of 2019 nCoV and then observes 4 amino acid sequences in the Wuhan coronavirus which are homologous to amino acid sequences in HIV-1. So they show a phylogenetic tree of the full-length coronaviruses, suggests that 29nCoV is closely related to SARS. In addition, that the other studies have linked the 29nCoV to SARS-CoV. We therefore compared the spike glycoprotein sequences of the 29nCoV to the SARS-CoV NCBI ascension number AY390556.1. On careful examination of the sequence alignment, we found that 2019 nCoV spike glycoprotein contains 4 insertions. To further investigate those inserts we are present in any other coronavirus, we performed multiple sequence alignment of the spike glycoprotein amino acid sequences of all available coronaviruses in the NCBI references. This includes one sequence of 2019 nCoV. We found that these 4 insertions, inserts 1, 2, 3, and 4, are unique to 2019 nCoV and are not present in any other coronaviruses analyzed. Another group from China had documented 3 insertions comparing fewer spike glycoprotein sequences of coronaviruses, and another group from China had documented 3 insertions comparing fewer spike glycoprotein sequences of coronaviruses. We then translated the aligned genome and found all the inserts were present in all Wuhan 2019 nCoV viruses except the 2019 nCoV virus of bat as a host. Listen, y'all. Intrigued by the 4 highly conserved inserts unique to 2019 nCoV, we wanted to understand their origin. For this purpose, we used 2019 nCoV no local alignment with each insert as a query against all virus genomes and considered hits with 100% sequence coverage. Surprisingly, each of the 4 inserts aligned with short segments of the human immunodeficiency virus 1 proteins. The amino acid positions of the insert in the 29 nCoV and the corresponding residues in the HIV-1GP120 and HIV-1 GAG are shown in Table 1. The first 3 inserts, 1, 2, and 3, are aligned to short segments of amino acid residues in HIV-1GP120. The insert 4 aligned to HIV-1 GAG. The insert 1, 6 amino acid residues, and insert 2, 6 amino acid residues. The spike in glycoprotein in 29 nCoV are 100% identical to the residues mapped in HIV-1GP120. The insert 3, 12 amino acid residues in 2019 NCOV maps to HIV-1 GP120 with gaps. The insert 4, 8 amino acid residues maps to HIV-1 GAG with gaps. Why do the authors think the virus will be man-made? Because when looking at the above insertions when they're not present in any of the closest coronavirus families, it's quite unlikely for a virus to have acquired such unique insertions of naturally in such a short duration of time. They can be found in cell identification and membrane-binding proteins located in the HIV genome. Since the S protein of the 29 NCOV shares the closest ancestry with SARS-GZ02, the sequence coding for the spike proteins of the two viruses were compared using multi-alum software. We found 4 new insertions in the protein of 29 NCOV, GTNGTKR IS1, HKNNKS IS2, GDSSSG IS3, and QTNSPRRA IS4. To our surprise, the sequence insertions were not only absent in S protein of SARS, but were not observed in any other member of the Coronaviridae family. This is startling, as it's quite unlikely for a virus to have acquired such unique insertions naturally in a short amount of time. The insertions were observed and to be present in all the genomic sequences of 29 NCOV virus available from the recent clinical isolates. To know the source of these insertions, the 2019 NCOV local alignment was done with BLAST-P, using the insertions as query with all the virus genome. Unexpectedly, all the insertions got aligned with human immunodeficiency virus. Further analysis revealed that the aligned sequences of HIV-1 with 2019 NCOV were derived from surface glycoprotein GP120 amino acid sequence positions 404, 409, 62, 462, 467, 136, 150, and from GAG protein 366384 amino acid. GAG protein of HIV is involved in host membrane binding, packaging of the virus for the formation of virus-like particles. GP120 plays a crucial role in recognizing the host cell by binding to the primary receptor CD4. This binding induces structural rearrangements in GP120, creating a high-affinity binding for chemokine co-receptor CXCR4 and CCR5. And some visuals lead to the structural change that might have also increased the range of host cells that 2019 NCOV can affect. To the best of our knowledge, the function in these motifs is not clear in HIV and need to be explored. The exchange of genetic material among viruses is well known, and such a critical exchange highlights the risk need to be investigated between the relations of seemingly unrelated virus families. A good recap of the findings was found by Dr. Feigl-Ding, who started his explanatory thread by pointing out that the transmission rate outside China has surpassed the rate inside China. Now, this is the same man that we read about how the R-naught factor was over 3.8 and how many people it was infecting. So this Eric Feigl-Ding is very interesting because he's been trying to say it. He's been trying to say it. But the smoking gun in this pieces are the virus's genetic code that Indian researchers led by Prashant Pranahan at the Indian Institute of Technology found may have been embedded from HIV, which belongs to an entirely different family of viruses.
So wait a minute. So you just said earlier, okay, that as being treated
with HIV viral, yes, and now they're admitting, at least in this, that it's probably HIV in nature, which makes sense why they're treating it with HIV antivirals.
So if it's being treated with an HIV, so this is being treated like an STD.
Worse than an STD, this is a human immunodeficiency syndrome. It literally kills your immune system and then kills you. Like, this is way bigger than an STD. HIV is not an STD, bro. It kills all of your cells, all of your functions, all of your blood functions, all of your hemoglobins, everything. Like, it literally, like, yeah, not good.
I don't know why I said that. I sound stupid.
But, so, continuing on. But Red, now, enlighten us about some herbs, because we obviously need to protect ourselves.
Well, I'm actually going to tell you guys about an herb. Unfortunately, when I started this little write-up on the herb, okay, first of all, this is my disclaimer, okay? It is this disclaimer right now for the herb, and I'm about to discuss with you. Sorry. I'm sorry because I had no idea when I started writing this that I was about to tell you all about something that you actually really can't get your hands on.
Right.
I was unaware of that. because of where I'm located. And you're going to understand that when I explain this. Many of you are going to have no idea what it is. You're never ever going to heard of it apparently. I didn't hear about it until I moved here, but there's so many herbs in the world, but I just thought I was like one of the rare few, because like everybody here treated me like, how do you not know? And I'm like, how do you not know? Like you, the healer, the woman of the place that does this, you don't know about this? I'm like, Alien? So I didn't realize that I was actually attaining, medicine, women medicine, folklore, folk medicine, local traditional Native American medicine. I didn't know that that's what this was from, and I didn't realize how local it really was. I just figured, okay, this is something everybody can get, because I can. I used to be able to go to a store, one of the herb stores here, and get this just like I get elderberry. So when I wrote this up, I had no idea, I kind of looked into the benefits and things of it, but I really had to put this place, the origins, history, stuff like that. And, because while I am, I'm very Hippocrates, man, and, it's so passing it down to me, and I physically see it work. I don't really question it past that. It works. I know it does. I've seen it work on myself, on others, you know what I mean? Like, that's how I roll. I believe in information through experience. I don't believe in the theories and all bullshit. That needs to be set aside. You can't prove any of that. You can't do any of that. This I can see work. Okay? Now that being said, we are going to talk about, I was introduced to it as Osha root. It's also known as bear root or life root. Now, it's a very Native American herb, and it is from the parsley family. However, it grows apparently really only in the Southern American Rocky Mountains, and specifically really, which I didn't know, in the San Luis Valley.
So basically we're red lips only.
Basically.
Where I live. So,
But that's still a large area, though. I mean, that's 1,000 square miles of area, or a million square miles.
Apparently, all of our mountain ranges are one side to the other and all the way around this time.
Right.
Like in acres. Wild, just growing.
Right.
So, now, here's things that we should know. Osha root's often used for sore throat, loosening a phlegm, common cold. It's great when you boil it into a tea. It's been used by the ethnic group Raramura in northern Mexico for the treatment of diabetes, tuberculosis, stomachache, diarrhea, and ritual healing ceremonies. All of Mexico uses Osha root for anti-ulcer remedies. Science does back life root for a gastroprotective activity. It has an LP organic extract that's used by ethnomedicine, and it's proven effective in rats in science. So, just saying. For bear root, pharmacological uses of the Mexican folk medicine used in the San Luis Valley, found through interviews of Hispanic families within the valley, are being investigated further currently right now at the University of Colorado School of Pharmacy. Now, there was also in 2011 and 2016 there were some national quad res national research projects done. And those studies showed that OSHA does in fact show a sedative property. Now, Native Americans have, in collective knowledge, used bear root. And this comes from a man who is 56 years old himself. He's been using it his whole life. He has spoken to many medicine men and many herbologists on it. It dilates the bronchial tube and lungs, and it allows the blood to carry more oxygen. It also aids by dislodging phlegm so that you can just expel it. It's great for chronic allergies and sinus conditions. It is used in the Hispanic communities within New Mexico. It's also used in southwestern United States, and the Native Americans have used it in treatment for centuries for respiratory infections and conditions of digestive tract and heart conditions. Life root is an anti-inflammatory and antibacterial. It's great for viral infections of throat and sinuses, also great for cold and flu. It's an amazing immune system booster. It's helping to alleviate breathing difficulties, treatment of digestive issues and conditions. Also can be very helpful with arthritis pain and carpal tunnel syndrome. Now, we know that OSHA, they also around here call it Colorado cough root.
Okay.
It's antibacterial and antiviral herb. So it soothes sore throat, it treats cough, it relieves inflammation of bronchial tubes. It can promote sweating to help break a non-breakable fever. It can relax your muscle tissue and prevent any invading bacteria or virus from spreading. OSHA root has a very long history within traditional Native American medicine for long-term inflammation, making it useful for arthritis. Bear root has also been used in traditional folk medicine for painful conditions. Life root does act as a very, as a mild anesthetic. It's often prescribed to replace painkiller drugs.
Ooh.
Yes.
Give me some, Red.
Great for what?
I said, give me some, Red.
Right. It is also, it's especially great for body and muscle pain,
See?
headache, toothache, and menstrual cramping.
Ooh.
Colorado cough root is known to treat upset stomach, cramps, stomach ulcers, as well as indigestion. It is a bitter herb, so it soothes digestion, but it can also stimulate your appetite. OSHA root has an effect on the lymphocytes, which are they're a very important role to the immune system, and they're a type of white blood cell that's designed to fight off disease and illness. A 2016 study showed that life root has immunoprotective effects against oxidative damages on human peripheral blood lymphocytes. Other research shows that bear root can have immune-boosting abilities in treatment of acute prolongmatic leukemia, which is a subtype of acute myeloid leukemia, white blood cell cancer.
Wow.
These folk medicine health benefits are treating heart trouble, tuberculosis, hemorrhages, anemia, allergies, emphysema, pneumonia, earache, and congestion. Also believed to be very effective anticonvulsant.
Ooh, anticonvulsant, Dwayne.
Anticonvulsant.
I heard that going like, Greg, you definitely got to send me some. I'll send you my address when I get to Tennessee.
Okay. Now, it's got no real known dangerous side effects. Life root, when it is being used in its recommended ways. Now, just like anything else, it can build up a liver and kidney toxicity, so we don't want to do more than 2 weeks on and at least 2 weeks off. Okay? At a time. Or every few days, every 3 or 4 days, whatever. Now, more than 6 cups of OSHA root tea a day was shown to cause insomnia, diarrhea, appetite loss, headache, dizziness, and vomiting.
Okay, so your body doesn't like it when you get too much.
Right. But that's 6 cups a day, over 6 cups a day.
That's a lot of tea, too, of any type of tea, really.
Right. Right.
I mean, if you're being honest.
Right. If we're being honest, I don't know anybody who's really going to be...
I mean, unless it's like a tea for like sickness, like I know the elderberry tea that I have that has like echinacea added. They say when you're sick, drink 4 to 6 cups a day. But they
are talking 6 straight cups of it. So they're not talking about like adding some to like some other tea or whatnot. They're talking about making a straight boil OSHA root tea.
Right.
10 to 1.
Right.
And, you know, and for all the, like I said, it can cause, or has been shown to cause, if you're drinking more than 6 cups within a day, insomnia, diarrhea, appetite loss, headache, dizziness, and vomiting.
See, I knew there was that but.
Yeah, but that's 6 cups a day, and that's a high dose.
Right. You know, but there's red, you know, that actually sounds like a good method to use for a upper respiratory infection.
It does.
Yes. And we're going to get even more into that, because check it out, right? So, bear root has high oxytocin amount. Did you hear that?
It has the high oxytocin amounts.
That's probably why it helps with pain.
Okay. Now, due to the oxytocin amount, we don't recommend this for children under 6.
Right.
We also do not recommend it for pregnant or breastfeeding ladies.
Right.
Right.
Unless you were in labor, though. If you were in labor, that might be good.
No, because it can cause uterine contractions that can result in miscarriages.
Right, but if you were in labor, otherwise.
I don't even think they would use that in labor.
People would, and midwives used to use all types of herbs, man. Because if it has natural oxytocin, that's what they use in Pitocin. And that's what they're trying to mimic in the drug version Pitocin.
Now, to, like, stimulate labor under some strict...
like, watch. Like, you know what I mean? With, like, a registered midwife there is what I was saying, Red.
I personally, coming from somebody that had an emergency C-section, because they pumped me literally with 6 bags of
Pitocin.
Which is oxytocin.
Yep.
Right.
They're man-made Pitocin, and it did nothing for me. Had I have known about OSHA then, I might have been like, no. Just go get me some damn OSHA root.
See what I'm saying? So I'm talking like during birth, labor, you know what I mean? We need some progression. What can we use? See what I mean? Because, yeah, you wouldn't want toning of the uterus any other time, because it could. Much like Angelica root.
I can say that a lot of our midwives...
Yep.
I don't know the correct term anymore, whether you want to call them a midwife or whatever, okay?
I think you have to call them midwives. Or nurse midwives or whatever.
Right. You're at home for assistance.
Right.
Okay. I do believe that they use here, at least in the valley, I know.
I could see it. Or even, using, like, because see, other roots you can't use.
I did not know that bear root, life root, and OSHA root were all the same thing. So
I did not either.
People have been talking about this, and I have always thought that they were different things here.
Oh, it's all the same thing.
Usually when our birthing at home people talk about it, they call it life root.
Okay.
So a lot of them I know do keep it on hand as part of their medicine plan.
Right.
Okay. Now, life root seeds, leaves, and roots are all used. Okay? You can actually use them to season beans, meats, and chilies. You can boil OSHA leaves and add to soups and other things. And you can even eat them raw in like wild salad or just a regular salad. Many believe that longevity in medicine is questionable because their root cultivation is only in the specific region of the American Rocky Mountains in Colorado, especially San Luis Valley Mountain Ranges. American Botanical Council is looking into the details of turning OSHA to an economic crop. Yeah, for Wyoming growers. Now, this is a huge leap to get this traditional respiratory healer out there and get it the same acknowledgement as, say, echinacea has now. So, on that part, it is good, but on some parts, it's not so good.
Right.
This is the information side, okay? Like I said, unfortunately, there's no real healers of life roots. So, finding it apparently more difficult than I realized. I didn't know that I was privy to it because of where I live. But there is something I am going to tell you guys. Tomorrow I am making red fire cider with OSHA in it and red elderberry and OSHA syrup. So they are going to be available on the Freedom Revolution Network page for
The general store. Right.
God, I love you so much.
Yeah. We're going to have it. We're going to be doing it. Okay. You know, this weekend we're going to be building our coronavirus update page. We're going to put all the links that I've been using, you guys. All the stories. We're going to be linking all the videos. We're going to be having all the things.
You know, and the one thing that's even helped me, like when I've had an upper respiratory infection, Red, because I've seen it, is soaking in natural Epsom salt.
Yes, absolutely.
Because with the Epsom salt, it relaxes the muscles, like within your body. So
you do not want to miss this fire cider I'm getting ready to make. You don't want to miss this. This is like gonna be so insane and packed. First, let's start with, do you know what fire cider is?
I've heard of it. But the only reason I've heard of it is from our tribe leader.
Right?
I don't know what it is.
Fire cider goes back to, it doesn't matter if any. You can look in any pretty much culture, place within the world, they're going to have something that is fire cider or something. It's similar. Okay? At least in the folk medicine world. And I don't know if you've been listening to Journey or not lately, but we've just done this whole thing on folk medicine, what actually folk lore or folk medicine really means, what the definition of that is, how we have differentiated between two different types of medicine, Hippocrates and Galen.
Right.
And, how we had tossed away Hippocrates, who was all about, if you see it working, then let's use that. Oka Theory says that that's bullshit and we're not going to use it and we're not going to allow it to happen because we stopped treating all levels of people. And when you stop treating all levels of people and you're only mechanical, which is alien, and that's all you're focused on, you're missing a whole lot of other key elements to the full well-being and health of the person. And people die this way.
Right.
Okay? So, I prefer Hippocrates. I'm sorry, but I do. I prefer if I can see it works, it works. Okay?
Right.
That being said, the firefighters are extremely amazing. Now, mine is my own personal thing, but this particular one I'm making just for the fact of an online application. I might even because I feel like since this only really goes here, I should definitely put some attribute to it. And it seems like something that the Valley is providing that is an armor that I'm supposed to. Maybe that's why the sponsor is certainly and put it out there for the people because there's not really anybody else doing that. So it is the base to advertise as an adult mother. We all know it's going to go to that. Okay? So that's your base. That's going to be the base. Now, I add personally a clear brain Everclear. That is only for self-life and very small amount of that. It also does help in the extraction of the other things that we're going to face into this, because this is not like a spirit, it is an infused chemical. So that's just going to add a little bit in shelf life, and it's going to help pull out what we need from the other stuff. Now, it's got onion, it's got garlic, it's got ginger, fresh, grated ginger root. It's got fresh grated turmeric root. It's got fresh fat, dried, and cooked elderberry. It's got I do the OSHA with the elderberry, so it gets put in together. And then it has lemon. It has jalapeno and cayenne. Yes. Oh, yes. Jalapeno does amazing things for your sinuses and upper respiratory.
Can I ask a quick question since I'm a little bit confused?
Mm-hmm.
Why the jalapeno?
I just told you.
I didn't catch it.
Okay, I said it does amazing things for your sinuses and upper respiratory. Also it has horseradish and fresh horseradish, grated, and raw honey and manuka honey. Now this all infuses into the vinegar.
That's a nice mixture.
Your fire starter is pretty much nothing that's going to beat that. Now I'm not giving away my whole recipe, but that is everything that's really in it. But I'm not giving away the amounts and all of these because those are not my proprietary information. And well, as a healer, we don't necessarily do this. We just kind of know how to make it.
Right.
That sounds awful, I know, but it is kind of there. We just know. We have a base, and we know, never to go over, this amount or that amount, but, it's about flavor, it's about taste.
It's about the synergy of it all, too,
Right. And also, keep in mind that all of my things, such as my elderberry OSHA syrup that I'm about to make, and this fireside that I'm about to make, they are done. There is actual, I will be playing C, G, and F notes specifically because these are the perfect tones, the healing tones, and the respiratory tones. And I will also be putting in the...
Oh, hell no, Red. Hold on. Let me show you something. Let me show you something, Red. Let me show the people something. Look at this. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. Look what they're doing. Look what they're doing. Where do we know this from?
I'm not sure. I don't...
Where do we know this from?
I don't know. Hold on. What are you talking about?
She's screen sharing. I can't read it because it has the facts down.
I can't read it.
Know the facts. To make sure you get the best information on the novel coronavirus, resources are available from the Centers and Disease Control and Prevention. Where the hell have we seen that before?
Mm-hmm.
On Facebook. They've started.
Facebook.
They've already started. Look at them. Look at them.
There goes that vaccine right there, dude.
Same thing. That's what they do for like the vaccine groups. Oh, you can learn about vaccines. You can go to CDC.
I also will be putting in the Kundalini Reiki energy for healing and overall health. And then the universal life energy or the Yusui traditional Reiki energy of overall wellness, health, and protection. So you know that it's being made with that energy, that care, that love, all of that is going in there.
Right, and guys, I would personally recommend this, and here's why I say I would. Red, I'll let you finish before I say this.
No, go ahead. I was good.
And the reason I personally recommend this, because before modern day medicine was made, this is what people used back in the day.
Yep.
This is what tribes used. Herbologists, like Red, I don't know if that's what they call you.
Well,
I forget.
I have gone to school for herbology. I'm currently still in school for herbology, so eventually I'll have the actual paper that says it, but I do believe myself to be one without that paper.
You know, so herbologists were around before modern medication.
Modern medication is based off of herbology. We proved that on Journey into Freedom in the last 3 episodes.
Yep. Truth.
Yep, and I went back and listened to every single one of them. I pay attention. For once.
Good doing.
You know, guys, what she's saying is I don't deal with the herbology or the pathology or however many titles Red has. I deal with the more I just poked you and gave you medication.
Right.
And I know that sounds bad the way that I say it.
But that's what you do.
But that's what I do, but I would trust Red with my life.
Aww.
Because...
Wayne, like, that's a huge compliment coming from you, bro. Thanks.
Well, because we've learned... once you started talking about all these herbs, I've went and done my research.
Right.
Like, for an upper respiratory infection, if I can't breathe, I've started using mint.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Peppermint, spearmint, as well as lemon thyme mint.
Red, you're the reason I'm not in the ER as much. You know, and I'm saying that with much love, you know, and this isn't just coming from two medical people. It's just, you're one of the most true pathologists and herbologists I've ever heard speak as much truth about this and ain't afraid to talk about it, because most people are afraid.
No, I'm not afraid to talk about it, G.
None of us are afraid to talk about it.
Things. You don't need all this stuff. You don't need all these medications, man.
And at one point in our lives, me and Red did think that for a while and did go along with the program.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I almost killed myself going along with this program.
Me too. You know, but we learned better, and that's what brought us down the natural road, and then eventually together, because we both found out that this wasn't the way. Like, we weren't going to keep going.
Right. And like I said, this fire cider and this elderberry OSHA is going to be up, and it is going to be available for trade or donation. Because listen, y'all, I'm not a snake oil salesman. That's not what I do. I am not in this for the money. I am in this for your health. Right. I am in this for your well-being. I am in this for your protection. I'm not in this for the money. I'm not there.
This is why I love Red, guys. Right here.
Right, but we're not in it for the money. That's not what it's about. Anything that we
One of the main ways that we discuss being able to help folks from faith is they're in it for the money. They're not in it for you.
No.
I am here for you. Right. I don't care about the money. I don't care if you contact me and say, Red, I ain't got nothing but this herb, and that's all I've got. You know what? Send me that herb. I'm going to send you some of this. We're going to trade. It's going to be that simple. It's not hard. Don't be afraid.
Yeah, we've been doing, like we talked about earlier, we're doing a lot of partnerships with people for trade and barter, because I think that it helps both parties. You know what I mean? Everybody can feel good and walk away from the table with that exchange. That's why Red also did her services for a long time on donation only, because it becomes an exchange.
Services are still on donation.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I mean, we haven't been talking about that, though, so I didn't know. But you corrected me.
You know, but the one thing I do want to say, you know, and this is coming as a paramedic, you know, is I trusted modern medication most of my life because I was diagnosed with seizures 2 years ago, right?
Need some OSHA root.
To see, exactly. I was getting ready to go there. I trusted modern medication with my life. You know, because I was put in the hospital. I almost died.
You need an OSHA root CBD t-shirt. That's what you need.
See, I started using CBD oil again, and I haven't had a seizure in almost a month.
Yep. We're going to have a CBD giveaway. I don't know if you got to hear that part, Dwayne.
No. What the hell?
I don't know if you're, like, included, though, because you would kind of be, like, friends and family of Freedom Revolution Network, so I don't know if you count. But we are doing a giveaway.
You know, but, like...
Check this out, though. I got you, Holmes. Got you.
I love Red.
All you gotta do is send me a little messaging message and be like...
You know what, Red? You ain't still sent me no dang soap. Where my soap, Red? Where my soap, Red?
Listen, this last batch of this lavender soap, dude, I don't know what happened. Well, I do know what happened, okay?
I was supposed to get soap in the first batch, Red.
That freaking says it, okay? Somebody...
Wait, what am I supposed to send you, Red? Because Scarlett said something and I didn't get to hear you.
I don't care what you said. You're supposed to send her a message with your information. But, look, Red, you ain't sent me the stuff that you're supposed to send me already. Look, we gonna fight on air. Let's go. Ding, ding, ding.
No, listen, this last batch of the lavender, somebody moved in to somebody's house and decided to mess with my soap and ruined the whole batch, and I don't have any more goat's milk because my girls aren't milking right now.
You know, but I do want to throw this out here real quick.
What? Hold on. No. You need to let me respond to that, Dwayne. What?
I'm shutting up.
You know who it is.
Oh, I know who it was. I'm going to be talking to that person soon.
Oh, no, not that person. You don't talk to this person.
Oh.
The mouse.
I'm confused now. Wait a second.
That's interesting.
The mouse.
You know what?
And she decided to do, I don't know what she did do, but this shit smelled like a brick.
A brick? You had really good soap.
Cut it.
Oh, that's awful. Okay, well, we'll wait for Red to make more soap, but I just feel some type of way that you cut out your best friend to be trying to send Dwayne
As soon as I get
stuff.
my girls milking, which is just right around the corner.
I know it's right around the corner, but I just feel some type of way you're trying to send Dwayne stuff, and then you don't be sending me stuff.
You's already dropped a baby.
I know, but, I mean, I'm just saying. I'm not trying to hate
I
on you.
got you as soon as I have more milk, because you were supposed to be getting quite a bit of this lavender, and I can't do anything with it, dude.
Sorry, dude. Can you remelt it down when you get some more?
That's what I just said. I gotta see if I can remelt it down.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Because, you know, a lot of people don't realize if you're using natural soaps and you have little bits and pieces and ends, you can make a new bar out of that, y'all.
Right? Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Okay, now, Dwayne, back to you.
Oh, what I was going to say, and this is now, you know, with Red talking about the medicines for this, I just want to give out a few warning signs, you know, because we've all said that the coronavirus starts mimicking out a upper respiratory infection.
That is correct.
Right. So, the signs, and I'm going to throw this out there in case people don't pay attention in school or I can't say the word I want to say.
China's raised $1.46 billion to fight the coronavirus already.
So, the word that what I'm trying to say is, if you guys start having trouble breathing, chest pains, you know, things that you normally wouldn't feel in your
Eucalyptus
chest.
is also good. Eucalyptus, y'all. Red's allergic to eucalyptus, but eucalyptus, y'all.
You know, things you normally wouldn't feel in your chest.
Right?
You know, a fluid buildup would feel like something's literally pushing down.
Yeah,
on your
like an elephant sitting on your chest. Yeah, absolutely. Now, I haven't heard about collapsed lungs or anything either, but it would probably be also painful to breathe.
Well, if a fluid can mimic a collapsed lung,
That's what I mean. That would cause
I've
also
seen it
pain,
happen.
and you know what I mean. Like, it's a bad situation.
you know, but if you guys start feeling like a heavy presence in the middle of your chest down to the lower part of your rib cage, let's start treating it. Natural herbs, spearmint, mint, Epsom salt. Lay in a bathtub full of Epsom salt. Don't dump the whole bag in there. It's not what I'm saying.
Right.
Well, I mean, you need a couple cups for sure, but yeah,
I'd say 2 full
eucalyptus ones are great. They have some Breathe Easy Epsom salts that they sell that have some eucalyptus and menthol in it
Add
mixed.
a little, okay, so do 2 cups of the Epsom salt, 1 cup of baking soda, and about a drop of peppermint or eucalyptus or
Spearmint.
even oregano oil.
Yeah,
Would be great.
oregano. But oregano oil you might want to mix with a little milk because it could be hot. You would hate for that to get on your bits if you're in a bath.
Yeah.
It's really
Or even if not Epsom salt, stand in a hot shower. The
The
steam-
herbs help though. Even just the aromatherapy portion of the herbs helps, but besides that fact, it's gonna soak into your system. It hits your molecules really fast. Essential oils.
The pores open up in the
Yep.
hot water.
Yep, and it permeates your membranes, so it gets into you pretty quick.
Ginger is another great one, especially for fever. Ginger baths.
Yep. Rosemary is a really good one, y'all.
Or what I do, when I have an upper respiratory infection, I put like 2 pairs of sweatpants on, 2 t-shirts, and 2 hoodies, and I cover myself up in a big blanket.
Yep, but
I force
honestly,
myself to sweat.
rosemary, yeah, sweat it out. Rosemary, though, is a very good one that's like a eucalyptus alternative that really is potent, especially if you can find it in oil form. Very potent.
You know, and then, Red, I'm not saying that it won't work, but I'm just going to throw an option out there. Because, like I said, modern medicine. I I prefer you guys to try the natural medication first. Natural. Don't go to the hospital.
Yeah, you want to try to stay out of the hospital as long as possible. But I mean, if you're struggling, you're struggling. You gotta do what you gotta do.
But if you are struggling to breathe after trying all of these things we just named, try everything.
Oh, there's more than just that too. I mean, you can sit in a hot shower with just the hot water. You can drink hot water. That will help calm the bronchioli. They sell Primatene Mist tablets even, which are basically epinephrine that open up the bronchial tubes if you have to. There's ways that you can treat it before you would have to go down that route.
Because this is going to sound weird, but I've done mint tea with like milk in it.
Yeah.
Like a tiny bit of
Tea
milk.
with milk is normal.
Not 2% milk.
Milk with cream is normal. Or I mean, tea with cream is normal.
So I've done that, but this is what I'm going to say from the modern medicine end, because I'm not contradicting Red. I, like, from hearing all this and what she said before, I trust this woman with my life.
You don't trust me, Dwayne?
If you guys cannot breathe,
You don't trust me?
Scarlett, I've already told you I trust you with my life. I've never told Red.
You right. I'm just saying. I just want you to say it on air so everybody heard it.
I trust both of these women with my life.
I've
only known Red for 2 months. Both of these women, if I was right in front of them and something was medically going wrong, my hands, I'm safe. I'm okay.
Yeah, you'd be alright, Dwayne. We'd make sure you stayed alive.
But if you have to go to the hospital, do not put a mask on. And I'm going to just kind of give an example here for a minute, because I've done this many times. If you go in saying you're having trouble breathing, don't talk. Use hand signals, because they won't treat you right. I've seen that before, and I've almost heard a couple doctors doing that, because I'm back in the hospital in 3 hours.
Right, because they want to act like, well, if you could talk, you could breathe bullshit. You know, I went through that as an asthmatic, too. You know, when I...
Point at your chest.
Yeah, they're like, right, but they're like, oh, if you could talk, you could breathe. So, we're not dealing with it. You know, that was awful always, because sometimes you really were struggling. Or they're like, oh, here's a pack of steroids. Here's your steroids. Walk out the door.
Point at your chest, and then go across your throat with your hand, and point back at your chest. It will know, it will let them know you cannot breathe.
Right.
Once you start pointing in, don't point at the top of your chest, point in the middle. And I'm just going off of what I've seen as a paramedic.
Right.
Now, there's 3 ways they can treat you for this in a hospital.
No, they're putting you in the isolation ward, bro. At this point, with the global and national health threat, you're going straight into quarantine and isolation units. That's bottom line. The point blank in the period. They ain't even mess around with you now.
But I'm just saying, there's 3 ways a paramedic's going to treat you if you have to call.
Right.
In a non-rebreather mask.
What? Hold on. The Epoch Times is talking about how these, where the hell did that article go? Hold on. Okay, so they're talking about these Chinese officials are getting special treatments for coronavirus, while ordinary citizens are turned away by hospitals. They're getting special, after 2 high-ranking government officials in China's Hubei province died from the new viral form of pneumonia. Many officials in Hubei are getting special intravenous immunoglobulin IVIG injections at medical facilities to protect themselves from the disease. Meanwhile, locals who have symptoms of the deadly virus are being turned away by hospitals. The first outbreak occurred in Wuhan City, the capital of Hubei province, early December last year. Officials did not confirm the outbreak till December 31st. The information was made public when Chongqing-based Upstream News published a report about an official named Huang Tongzheng in Shangrao City, Jiangxi province, a neighboring province of Hubei, who recently developed similar symptoms to Wuhan pneumonia. However, As the report was soon revised, the current revision is only a short announcement of Huang's case, and the section about Hubei's province receiving IVIG injections was completely deleted. After the recent deaths of two Hubei officials due to the recent coronavirus, Chinese authorities in Hubei started to rush to medical centers to get their immune systems boosted with IVIG injections, according to a news report which was also confirmed by an insider who spoke to Radio Free Asia. IVIG enhances the immune system, thus helps a person to fight off infections. Prior to Huang's case, Chinese state media reported deaths of two high-ranking officials who died in Wuhan of Wuhan pneumonia in Hubei. The first was Wang Jinglang, a former director of the Ethnic and Religious Affairs Committee of Wuhan. The main responsibilities of this committee are to ensure that the members of various ethnic and religious groups follow party regulations and persecute adherents of Falun Gong, a peaceful meditation practice persecuted in China since 1999. Wang was said to always have executed his supervisor's orders. He died on January 26. The second reported death was a Hubei official named Yang Xiaobo, who was the mayor of Huangshi City between 2008 and 2014. Cao Shanqi, a well-known financial blogger and whistleblower, wrote on Twitter that Yang was infected during the provincial 2 sessions. He developed symptoms after 2 sessions and died only 2 days after getting his diagnosis. The 2 sessions are the parallel administrative meetings of the government and Communist Party held annually at various levels of government. In Hubei province, the meetings were held this year between January 11th to 17th. State-run media reported that the officials did not wear masks during the meetings. In total, 1,348 people participated in the 2 sessions. On January 3rd, Wang Zhenglong, the Chinese Communist Party CCP secretary of Sangji City in Hubei, began receiving a treatment at a local hospital. Upstream News reported he's suspected of contracting coronavirus, but the hospital would not confirm. He was promoted to this current position in September 2018. Deputy Director of Hubei Commerce Department, Wang Muhang, is being treated at a hospital in Wuhan. According to Chinese state-run media, Huang started to feel sick on January 19th and visited the Provincial Institute on January 21st, where he was diagnosed with the coronavirus. He then was transferred to another hospital. The Hubei Provincial Institute Hospital especially serves government officials. However, it does take ordinary citizens when there is availability. Meanwhile, several individuals from Wuhan disclosed to the Chinese language Epoch Times that their family members who experienced coronavirus symptoms could not get admitted to hospitals for treatment. Mr. Wang, who currently lives in Toronto, Canada, told the Epoch Times that his mother in Wuhan had a fever on January 15th when over-the-counter medication failed to relieve her symptoms. She went to the No. 4 hospital in Wuhan on January 19th to learn that she was infected by the virus. However, she couldn't receive treatment. Wang, who tried to help his mother by phone from Toronto, was told that any patient seeking treatment for Wuhan pneumonia needed to register with their community service director first. Then the director will report the case to upper levels. After approval, the patient will be put on the waiting list. We don't know how many patients have been waiting to get treatment before my mother. We can only wait, and the director refused to tell us what the upper level is. Another woman from Wuhan said she and her husband sent her father to the hospital for treatment on January 25th. They literally knelt down to beg the staff to admit him, but the hospital refused to admit her father. My father passed away on January 29th and was immediately cremated on the same day. Now my husband also has symptoms. No one helped us came to disinfect the room my father used to stay. We tried to purchase disinfectants to do it ourselves, but they are all sold out, she added. The Chinese language Epoch Times called Jintan Jinitan Hospital is a designated hospital for the treatment of Wuhan pneumonia to inquire about the hospital's current guidelines for admitted patients. Hospital staff stated that now the hospital only admits patients who are selected and approved by the Wuhan Health Commission. Any patient who wants to seek treatment in our hospital will have to communicate with the Wuhan Health Commission, he said.
See, that's some Can I speak?
Yeah, go ahead.
That's some fucked up bullshit right there.
Ain't it?
And here's why. Because they're wanting people to get help, but they're turning.
Yeah. So we probably don't even have the real numbers. Honestly, we've been saying that the whole time, though. That's what I've been saying. That's what Ron's been saying. That's what Red's been saying. That's what we all been saying the whole time. Even Steve Lookner on Agenda Free TV, he's like, we don't know if the Chinese are actually giving us the correct numbers. And we have to remember that the Chinese government are communists.
Right, so they're a bunch of fucking liars in the first place.
Right.
See, that's one thing I hate about communist countries.
Yeah, they don't care about the people. It's all about the greater good and the image that the greater good makes, right? So that's the problem. Yeah, it's about the image that the greater good makes. So if everybody's happy and acting nice, like good little citizens, wearing their masks, not going out, not buying things, not complaining about, because, I watched a clip from these Chinese news where they were asking people in Wuhan, like, at the store, like, what was going on, like, hey, like, have you been able to buy things? Do you think that the government's doing a good job? And you could just tell people knew that if they didn't say yes, that they were, like, probably going to die. Like, honestly, you could tell that they were very, very pained to say what they were saying. They're like, no issue. This is why I came out now. As you can see, I'm buying things. Like, it was very staged.
So, see, I'm not... Okay. I'm going to speak my mind as a medical professional here, so don't mind if I get an attitude for a quick second. Because that just kind of somewhat pissed me off. Okay, not kind of somewhat, but that just really honestly fucking pissed me off. You're going to tell people to get treated, but fucking turn them away?
Yep. That's communism.
What type of sick fucks?
It's communism.
A medical excuse?
It's communism. We can only pay for what we can pay for, and we only have room for what we have room for, and we only have to report what we want to report, because they said basically they only have 1,000 of these kits a day, but then in the same breath they say they have 5G that can diagnose patients from 1,000 miles away with cameras under 5G technology the first time it's ever been used, and they never thought they could use it for diagnosing. So, what the hell is going on?
Fucking thing. I call bullshit. I call bullshit. Right now. Because if that was true...
Well, it's like telemedicine. They're basically doing like remote, diagnosing. They're just looking at people through a camera and then maybe taking a swab with the robot, and then the robot goes and tests it, and nobody's actually going in to take care of these patients.
See, and that's a fucked up excuse for medical personnel.
And they're literally going in there and soldering shut people's doors with metal bars, sealing up whole buildings, and then they're randomly catching fire.
See, that just kind of meh.
And if you think that that's not going to potentially happen in America, if they find out some people have it in an apartment building or something else, people are going to be so afraid that they might come out like pitchfork mobs against people. It might be neighbor against neighbor. Because they're going to see everybody snatched up around them potentially. If they're already declaring these, health disaster, they already know it's going to spread and continue to spread like wildfire. Either that, or they're finally moving in on the New World Order swoop. Which way do you want it?
See.
Either way, not good for any of us.
But still, that causes severe issues for me.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm trying not to speak my mind right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to sit here and think about all the people that could potentially die, all the people that will be at risk, but did these people listen to the warnings? Did they prepare themselves? Have they thought about it? And yes, I mean, we can't honestly think that everybody could be, warned by, programs or things like that, but at the same time, too, I think people have always, thought about these things in the back of their mind, but now they're here. And, the CDC is telling us not to wear masks, but you can't find any masks. And all the masks are sold out or very expensive.
See, okay, can I speak my mind now? Please?
I mean, what do you mean speak your mind? I mean, obviously be appropriate, but go ahead.
This is just a bunch of ridiculous bullshit.
Well, obviously, but you have to elaborate a little bit more on that.
And the reason why I say this is because, so we're told one thing.
And they're doing another.
To protect ourselves. And Red will see where I'm coming from here in a minute. They tell us how to protect ourselves, possibly, from this thing. whatever the fuck this thing is. Okay? But then they go and tell us not to. And then you can't find the shit. Anywhere. At all. So basically what they're doing is leaving us fucking defenseless against something that can fucking kill you.
Yeah, pretty much. But that was their plan all along, because they're the elites. Have you not known that this is not the plan? Have you not realized that they were going to take us out one of a bunch of different ways? This was always the plan. I mean, Red and I have been on air for years, and we've been seeing it coming slowly, haven't we, Red?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
No, I know. I've known.
Yeah, now it's just here. I get it. You're in a little bit of shock. I know. I get it.
But as a medical provider, and people aren't getting treated right and getting turned.
That's communism. That's how communism
I'm sitting here
works.
almost in tears.
Well, that's how communism works. Communism doesn't care about the individual. It's about the greater good.
Well, I'm not even talking about communism. I'm not even talking about China.
That's what happens in communism, though. The people are in China, and they're under the Communist Party.
Right, but I'll tell you what, that even happens here.
Yeah, what if it does happen here? It could already be happening right now, and we don't even know it.
Right, see, and that's what is literally breaking me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
I get it.
It's because I've treated people for 3 years until last week when I quit. Okay?
Right.
My thing is that if this thing can be somewhat died down, then people need to be fucking treated. Stop watching your own fucking people die, you sick, sadistic fucks.
They don't care, Dwayne.
And do your job.
You don't think nobody else has already said that? Honestly, Dwayne, I'm not trying to be rude, but...
No, I know you're not, but I'm just saying from a medical point of view.
The elites don't care. Medicine is made to make you sick. Sorry. Unfortunately. It's not in the business of healing. This is big money. I just said China has made $1.46 billion off of donations.
That's just...
Big money. I've invested in things since this started. Big money.
Right. All the money.
Right? You know, looking for masks, looking for, fluid resistant, shields and things. Okay? Big money. And all these things are sold out at all the medical supply companies all across the country.
Right.
That's a big issue. Why are all the gloves and masks and antiviral masks in particular all sold out at all of the medical supply stores? Now, I understand Amazon. I understand, regular retailers like CVS and, your normal known retailers, right? But to have medical supply companies completely sold out to where there's only one medical supply company even selling anything, and they're limiting one box per person.
See? That's what we just went through today. Because I still do...
But don't get any masks, the CDC says.
Right.
But there ain't no mask to get.
Right. And with the CDC saying not wearing masks, you want to know how I've been telling just random citizens to start protecting themselves? Tuck your pants in your boots, put a freaking pair of gloves on, and put something over your face. Something. I don't care what it is.
This micron size is so small, you almost have to have a mask, though, because they're saying that the micron size is smaller than even N95.
Dude, I've told people to take a bra cup.
Well, I
Cut it
get
out.
that. We've shown people how to do that on the Freedom Revolution Network Facebook page, because that was brought up maybe like 3 weeks ago, Rad, do you think?
Yeah.
Maybe like a month ago. Like, very interesting that it kind of foresaw the future on that.
You know, but like bra cups.
Right. If you
You
can
know,
get
like-
N95 protection, though, that's what you're going to want. Because this micron size is too small that it would be very porous for something like that. If you
You
have
know-
nothing else, go ahead. But the micron size is very small on this coronavirus.
Right, do you know they actually, this is going to be a little bit off topic for a minute.
Okay.
The reason they found out bra cups will help you breathe is because someone actually put it up to their face in the middle of their house being on fire.
Okay.
And it stopped the smoke.
I can maybe see
Yep.
that. They've
From
got quite
going
a
in
few
their mouth.
layers of
So-
fabric.
So, like, when I had kids come to I had a whole female class that was uncomfortable, was all given out. I taught them how to put a bra over their mat, over their face, like the inside, because the foam of the bra absorbs everything. It doesn't allow entry to your face.
Yeah, I don't know about that with this micron size, though. This is smaller than N95 protection. Like, for smoke inhalation, yeah, maybe that's great. But, like, yeah, last resort, yes. But first resort, no.
First resort, I'm not saying use it as a first resort.
But last
resort,
resort,
oh, fuck yes.
absolutely. You know, and you could put some oils in that, too, you know, to try to protect, you know, it from coming through with the virus. Putting, you know, oils in your mask are a good idea anyway on some of these paper masks that can help kill bacteria and virus. A lot of them aren't oil permeable, so they allow oil to get in, but if the oil is killing things, it's not a big deal, you see?
Right.
So that's why you want to get those type of things. They're going to start becoming more expensive. They're going to be harder to find. My local hardware store only had 3 boxes of masks, now 2. Who knows how many they have now. Companies all around the country don't know when they're going to be back in stock. They're having a hard time sending out their products. I hope people can get ahead of the curve, but the curve is already leaving the station to be ready to have pandemic supplies, to have masks, to have gloves, to have eye protection, to have, you know, medical aprons or the plastic suits or the bunny suits or, you know, all of that.
Bro, it was so hard for us to even order like 20 boxes of gloves for our department.
I know. It's ridiculous right now. You can't find nothing. It's like everything's gone. And then they're like, don't buy masks. But everything's gone.
Like, I had to go to, like, Rite Aid and buy nylon gloves.
Yeah.
Like, so... Like, shit's getting tight. You know, if the coronavirus in your area, don't leave home. Unless you absolutely freaking have to. Don't leave home. Nope. Keep your hands washed. Sanitize everything in your house. Don't let nobody in.
Well, that's just it. They were saying, too, that they could be hiding as electrical vans or plumbing vans.
Yep.
Watch out for that, y'all.
Yeah, if you are... Don't walk in small groups in the middle of the night. Because I forgot me and Scarlett were talking about this the other night. They are putting people that will kidnap you in these vans. And they'll quarantine you. By force. And I think, Scarlett,
It's legal now. And now it's legal. Legal beagle.
and now correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't you say they would be armed? So if you walk out by yourself at night, walk by yourself. Do not be in a small group. Don't do it. This is how fucked up, beyond all recognition, this has got.
This is like Bizarro World. At this point.
Dude, I see this turning. Yeah, no, I know this is gonna sound weird, but I see this turning into the zombie freaking apocalypse.
It could. It could. You know, maybe that's why they're burning the bodies, because it is some type of zombie apocalypse.
Wait, what do you mean burning bodies?
Or burning the bodies. Red, tell them.
They are burning bodies according to things that we've seen.
Where?
They're collecting them all in Wuhan and burning them.
You know,
Yeah, at night they're going around with dump trucks.
Building them in with like walls of like
Earth.
yeah, like getting ready to like, I don't know, like hold the town in. That's why I'm like, this is like some Raccoon City stuff.
Yeah. And they're burning.
Wait, is this?
This is in China.
You can't make this shit up, but they did. It's called Resident Evil.
Yeah, like they're taking people
It's called the Agent.
who they think are sick,
Outbreak.
and they pick up people, and they're putting them in the back of dump trucks, and then they're taking them to like incineration, because most Chinese do cremation anyway. They've done it like that because there's so many people. India also does that too. And so they cremate their people right away. And so they've been cremating. People are talking about smoke signatures, which I said earlier, over China, that are right over Wuhan, and nobody's moving around Wuhan, so where are these big smokestacks coming from? But burning bodies.
See, oof. I'm gonna shut up.
Mm-hmm.
Oof.
Nope. I'm telling you, that is not coronavirus.
Right?
That's not coronavirus. Nope.
It ain't like this series, Kevin.
This is something else.
Yep.
It's talk about it. The first rule of coronavirus is we do not talk about the coronavirus. The second rule of coronavirus is we do not talk about
Coronavirus.
Right. That's
This
true.
like, I'm gonna be surprised if this makes it past this. This show makes it past this.
I mean, they're talking about removing any type of disinformation. Obviously, everything we're talking about is theoretical. But at the same time, we've never seen such a bombardment of information like this debunking something since, like, the Las Vegas massacre. And now they're shutting things down legally. That's what everybody should be concerned about. That they're shutting down the conversation and the information legally. Through legal channels. And that means that our freedoms are being taken right now over the greater good for this damn coronavirus. And I, for one, am not having my freedoms taken. Like Red and I say, we're not setting ourselves on fire to help you out.
Exactly.
Okay.
You know,
it's like your parents always told you, if your friend jumps off a cliff, you gonna jump off too? No. So quit trying to put me off the cliff.
see, that's what the government's trying to do.
Mm-hmm. That's the truth.
But are we letting them?
Yeah, we are, because they've already declared this, and now they can make whatever rules they want, because people are already scared crapless about measles and every other disease, and the flu, and this and that, which all of us people are, who know about diseases are just like, but your immune system, though. And we're not as bothered. Like, yes, we know people can get sick. Yes, we know ultimately people can die, but if you try to maintain health, it shouldn't be an issue. But
Oh my god, you want to know how long it takes the flu or pneumonia to kill somebody?
some people it's quicker than others. A lot of people have died. According to the CDC, 10,000 people have died so far this year. I mean, I get it.
Some people, it can take 2-3 weeks.
Yeah.
Some people, it can take 2-3 months.
Right.
It depends. And here's the thing, because Scarlett, I didn't catch this when you said it earlier, when I was on a roll. If there's pus coming up out of your mouth when you're coughing, dude, that's not just an excess of fucking fluids. That's a whole damn near fucking infection where your lungs are just now black.
Basically, that's what they say. It cuts off your oxygen because your lungs are full of pus, and then you just stop breathing.
Well, wait a minute. Because now I'm going to kind of debunk something for a minute.
That's what they say.
If your lungs don't have oxygen in it, there would be blood present in your lungs along with the pus. Motherfucker.
Yeah,
Because look.
and then that would spread.
The pus would have a very good tint of red to that shit.
That's why we've been seeing people spitting up, man. Red, you didn't see them videos?
Yeah.
Where people are spitting up blood, and they're saying people are spitting up blood, and then passing out?
So, can I use me as an example real quick here?
Sure.
When I have a seizure, right?
Right.
I don't get put on my side quick enough.
Right.
My tongue goes in the back of my throat.
Right.
Oxygen's now cut off to my lungs. Within a minute, my lungs could be filled with blood and I can drown.
Right,
You turn me on my side, all that blood releases.
Right.
That's due to the fact that there is no oxygen present in the lungs for your lungs to either expand
Or contract.
or close.
See, that's what I mean. So they're literally like spitting up blood and then just keeling over, and this is what we're seeing. And so, you know, on this night, you know, the 1st of February now, we're going into a global health crisis that we've never seen before. Okay? Not since the days of SARS or MERS. You know, they compare it to the Spanish flu, which Red and I figured out was H1N1. They compared it to that, but this is the only other epidemic we know. We know no other epidemics.
Pretty much.
And so we do not know how people are going to react. And the saddest part is that what's trending in the United States is Flea, Portland, Miss America Netflix. Okay.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, hold on. Miss Americana. Okay. I'm going to tell you what else is trending. Okay. What else is trending? Budget 2020. Kobe and Gigi. Hashtag turned up my sexy by. Mary Higgins Clark, which she did die today. R.I.P. the writer. MN Cops VRA. And that's literally what they're talking about. Okay, like this is what's trending, y'all. Anthony Davis, LeBron gets tattoo honoring Kobe. Like, hashtag Mamba out but never forgotten. Like, literally, this is what the hashtags are right now. Trends. Trending topics. On Twitter, live.
See, and that's so disappointing.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
They're saying now they're going to have a quicker diagnostic test for the coronavirus, can diagnose the virus within 2 hours at point-of-care settings like doctor's office, ER, and then airport. Could be ready within weeks to be made widely available. Red, you remember when we read about that machine that can make 800 doses of vaccine at once?
Mm-hmm.
This sounds like that shit, don't it?
Uh-huh. It does.
Yeah, they came up with this technology to create 800 doses of vaccines at once in like clinic settings or point of care settings like that. And they came up with it a couple years ago. And we talked about how we thought that they could start pushing that on people just because of the way it works to mass project it on people. And I bet you we talked about it in the guise of a viral outbreak.
But watch this. Watch this, right? If people don't have the coronavirus now, and they get this vaccine, watch this. Watch this, right? Because I want to be on a roll here again for a minute. You get this vaccine, How the hell do you know that you're not going to die due to the actual coronavirus with getting the vaccine?
Well, yeah, because it's probably going to be a live virus. So, yeah, how do you get around that?
People.
Well, if you can re-get it, then the vaccine's not going to be able to help you.
Nope.
Exactly, that's what I was getting ready to say. People, please get your head out of your ass and don't take this vaccine. Please.
Yeah, don't do it.
Only thing you are doing, and I don't care if I get shot from a drone in the sky for saying this.
Oh, here we go. They talk about nasal swabs would be collected from a patient, placed in a tube, and mixed with reactant. The clinician could then place a strip in the tube and get a reading based on the color. The technique, which uses CRISPR technology, developed by Mammoth, has been used to detect other viruses, including the Zika virus. Chu said. His team is working on rapid genome sequencing to more quickly learn information about viruses that can be critical to public health officials. Scientists have already sequenced the new coronavirus genome, but Chu wants to speed up the process to 3 to 4 hours. The genome of a virus helps officials monitor how it evolves and spreads. UCSF's lab is also working on another diagnosis method based on host response biomarkers. People can be infected by the Wuhan coronavirus without displaying symptoms, meaning a nasal swab would only contain trace amounts of the virus and could be misdiagnosed. A more definitive test would sequence the genome of a patient to see how their DNA was affected by the virus. This is not something that initially can be done in 1 to 2 hours, but something in the future I think is going to be very, very useful. As of Thursday, 6 people in the United States have been diagnosed with the new coronavirus, including 2 in Southern California. People in 36 states have been tested for the virus, according to the CDC. No cases have been confirmed in the Bay Area. Now they have, but San Francisco reactivated its emergency operations center on Monday to centralize resources in the event of a local case. Look how they're reacting. Now, you and I both know, Dwayne, that is not how they act. More than 7,800 people, mostly in China, have been sickened, and 170 people have died as of Thursday, according to the CDC. Scientists still don't know a lot about the coronavirus, Chu said. It can evolve to become more severe or infectious, for example, or it can be quickly eradicated. That's why it's important for us to be vigilant, but at the same time, not to panic.
Okay.
Yep. That's what they said.
Don't panic.
Don't panic, but it could be getting worse. And, yeah. And take our CRISPR, genetically modified and genetically engineered disease test for the coronavirus.
Don't panic.
But take our genetically modified disease.
No, you keep saying that, and I'm trying to get somewhere.
I get that, but I don't want them to get that part lost because it's like CRISPR-9 technology. That they want to see how it changes your DNA. Well, what the hell does that mean?
See, here's the thing.
Oh,
no, go ahead, Red.
How about I'm not your motherfucking guinea pig?
You ain't never lied.
This Red's never lied. But here's the thing. They're trying to see how it acts with your DNA, but this shit's fucking mutating.
Yeah, they said with almost every patient. That's why they have to do it by DNA assay. They can't just do it by nasal swab because it's mutating too much and they know it. So they have to look at our DNA to see how it's changing instead of looking at the virus itself.
See, but even looking at our DNA, they're still not going to get 100% accurate.
Yeah, they are with CRISPR-9 technology because then they could even, change what they even want us to see.
And again, we're at their mercy with shit.
Yep.
How do you know that they're collecting your DNA for what they're saying they're collecting your DNA for?
Right.
Exactly.
And again, just saying, this sounds, again...
Number of coronavirus cases reaches 12,000 1 minute ago.
So, can I throw a theory out here?
Sure.
So they want to collect your DNA to test for the coronavirus to see how it mutates.
Right.
But what if they're using your blood to make a new form of this shit?
Yeah, they could be.
With your own DNA.
Yeah, it could be a DNA weapon. Yeah.
So what if you are their biological weapon guinea pig.
Yeah, we know that. That's what they do. Okay? We know that's what they do. And then mixed with 5G, does that turn it on and make it worse or whatever? So here's B&O News. For anybody who's been following this is a great resource to get the numbers. Okay. The table below shows the confirmed cases of coronavirus. Okay. So now it shows us. Okay, I'm gonna pick my doodads here. So
my brain's just starting to work. So bear with me a little bit.
Okay, so now we've got shows now there's currently 12,002 cases worldwide, including 259 fatalities. Okay, so that's went up. All right, so that's
259 fatalities.
Okay.
Out of how many cases?
And there's 12,002 cases. Okay.
These numbers are relatively low.
They're low, but now they've passed SARS, though. We haven't passed deaths for SARS. We only need 500 more deaths for SARS that are official. But that's if these official numbers are correct, right? Because we don't know that either, if these official numbers are correct.
We also don't know if the numbers were officially correct for SARS.
Yeah, China was said to have lied heavily during that time. So I wouldn't be surprised if that wasn't the case again. Okay, continuing on. So mainland China, okay, this was last updated at February 2020 at 3:33 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hubei province, including Wuhan, 7,153 cases, 249 deaths, 956 serious, 338 critical, but they don't tell us what quantifies serious or critical, right?
Right.
Most of the other provinces have about 500 or less, but some provinces have jumped up, including Zhejiang and Guangdong, and I believe Guangdong is where like Shanghai is. Okay, so it's literally in every province. Okay, Beijing, Shanghai, Shaanxi, like everywhere. Okay, and even one in Tibet, y'all, even with the monks. Okay, now there's been 1,795 serious, 243 recovered, 17,988 suspected cases. Okay, now outside of China, no deaths, but cases are increasing in Hong Kong, Taiwan, and Macau. Internationally, we're getting more people. Oh, okay, hold on. It took me up here. Internationally, we're getting more people starting to creep slowly up, right? Like from Thailand or Japan. Okay, and each place is allowed to put their own numbers out now, so there's nobody going around collecting all the numbers. The UAE has 4, Canada, Vietnam, England, Russia, Nepal, Cambodia, Sri Lanka, Finland, Philippines, India, Italy, Sweden, Spain. Like, that's exploded.
How many cases does Canada have?
Canada has 4.
How many does the U.S. have? You said 6?
7.
The U.S. has 7.
7. Australia has 12. Malaysia has 8. Singapore has 16. Japan 17. Thailand 19. France has 6. Germany has 7.
Okay.
South Korea 12. UAE
and then we
4.
have 2 possibly here in Ohio. We don't know yet.
Right, and they say numbers of cases in Sichuan province includes one asymptomatic case. This case is not included in the government's official account. The number of cases as counted by the Japanese government does not include 2 people who tested positive without symptoms. The Ivory Coast, a suspected case in the Ivory Coast has not been confirmed. Brazil, there's currently no confirmed cases. A post which went viral on Twitter, which was a hoax. How do we know all that, though? And how are you not going to include the people who tested positive without symptoms? Because they got the disease, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
So, I just don't understand. So, like I said, BNOnews.com. Look at their tracking coronavirus. You can see it in their latest, even if you go to their homepage. Map, data, and timeline. They update it all the time. They stay on top of it. They add it. They're great people. Okay, whoever's doing this is staying on top of this. We appreciate them because they never sleep. Okay? That's a good thing for all of us. Okay, so we're going to, same numbers just to see. I wanted to just refresh to see what we got. You never know. because now is the time of day we start getting more cases come in. I wouldn't be surprised if we're up over 14,000, by the end of tomorrow. By Sunday. 15,000 cases, maybe 20. Maybe more places start admitting it and figuring it out. Because if there's only so many test kits that were created, or they can only get the CRISPR-9 technology out to so many people, well, a lot of people are going to be going through the cracks. And that's just the way I see it. So, with that being said, we got to keep watching out, okay? And
With that being said, I don't believe for 1 minute that there is a limited amount of fucking test kits for the coronavirus.
no, I believe there's way more people, because they wouldn't be
And
shutting down
there's
everything.
a limited amount of test kits for whatever this shit this is. But again, I repeat, that they the coronavirus.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what, they can call it whatever you want, but it's making people drop like flies, supposedly, and they're trying to take all our rights through it. At the same time that they're trying to make us believe not to protect ourselves because, the risk to the American public's low, yada da. Is this a Chinese bioweapon? What is this?
I don't think it's coincidence. When I said it earlier, I'll say it again. The Chinese people were rioting in the streets against their government. Now all of a sudden there's been a down.
Right. Deadly, life-threatening virus taking everybody out like Godzilla.
Right, and they're saying they can only make up...
It sounds a whole lot like the Resident Evil shit. I'm just saying.
Right?
Right, and when I watched the video, I don't remember if I tagged Scarlet in it or not, but they said they can only make up the 2,000 test kits a day.
Yeah. That's what they claim. So how are all these people getting tested? See, that's why they're turning people away from hospitals. This is why they're doing long-distance, diagnosing.
So that's my...
They also told us. They also told us like 2 weeks ago that even though they had everything they needed or whatnot, the vaccine would not be ready for human use for months, possibly even years.
They're gonna fast track the hell out of it for the greater good of the public. We need it on a fast track emergency basis. Remember, the man on Event 201 said that the H1N1 vaccine was created within 89 days.
Yep.
And that is in your regular flu shot now. They just mix the both together. You can't get it without the other. And so they inject Spanish flu into you when you get a flu shot.
Right.
Making you a plague carrier. So they wonder why so many people have died from flu. Well, yeah, you started injecting people with the Spanish flu. So yeah, tens of thousands of people are going to die a year.
Which is why I no longer get the flu vaccine.
They knew this was going to start killing people because nobody had antibodies for this disease that hadn't been around since the 1900s. They knew it was up.
And here's the funny thing about the flu vaccine. CPS is now forcing parents to vax their kids, or they threaten to take the kids away from the parents.
Oh yeah, we know a lot of medical kidnapping stories. We had a mother on who refused chemotherapy for her child, and they took her child away, and she only recently just got him back, but now they're forcing chemotherapy for the next 2 years, and he has to get lumbar punctures and chemo in his spine and just all this sick stuff. They don't care, Dwayne.
They don't. They truly don't. And we're not saying this to scare you guys. For anybody who's listening, we're not.
No. We're just doing this to educate you, but, we've got to be on top of this coronavirus, though, because this is coming fast and furious, where people need to prepare, come up with plans, come up with preps, get themselves ready. Get your disinfectants. Get, your extra food. Get your extra water. It's time to prepare.
Well, Scarlett, I have a theory.
What's your theory, Dwayne?
What if, flu shots, right?
Right.
What if they didn't start putting some of this already in the fucking flu shot?
They could have.
See, because now...
We don't know some of the parts and particles that they put in. We don't know.
Because let me remind you what we talked about last week. Because remember, you said that a report was made that this shit was brought from Canada to the Chinese testing lab.
Yep. That is correct.
So, if that is here said true, because I don't know, I believe you said we don't officially know.
I mean, we pretty much know that them folks got taken off the job and that the Royal Canadian Police were involved, and that came from CBC News, so I pretty much feel like it happened.
Pretty much.
I mean, they never said what happened to them, or if they ever got charged, or if they ever got removed from Canada, or if they went to, like, a CIA prison, or what, but it was reported on.
But this coronavirus is coming quick, it's coming fast, it's coming hard.
And you need to have a plan for you and your family to survive, thrive, and prepare.
Stock up on canned foods. First thing you want to do.
Canned foods, prepping foods, beans, rice. We're going to try to make a small giveaway package for a listener that will include an emergency blanket, a small sterno can, a small flashlight, and a packet of emergency food. Just one packet of something like dinner style that you could make with water. That way you could start yourself off with a small, 1 day, 24-hour kit. You can heat up, the water with your sterno can and then boil that water and pour it in the pouch and you've got din.
And Scarlett, we may not even have to buy an external can.
Oh yeah. I mean, you might not have to, but I'm just...
My department still might have like 100 left.
Okay.
Because we use them for our family dinners and we haven't had one for like a year.
Right.
Because this weather sucks.
Right. Yeah, so we'll see. So we're going to do a small giveaway with that. We'll, like I said, with all the giveaways and stuff, we're going to make a giveaway tab on the website so we can inform people of how to join the giveaways, what some rules are for the giveaways. We're going to make it as easy as possible, but we do want you guys to interact with the network to be able to then receive benefit for it.
Right, and I will keep providing the medical side of all this because I'm like maybe 13 hours into literally looking at the medical side of everything. But the one thing that I've seen with the coronavirus, right,
Okay.
is it doesn't just affect the lungs. It affects a couple of your vital organs. Kidney.
True.
And your liver.
True.
The coronavirus completely shuts down your kidneys.
That's true. I also have not seen a cold that shuts down your kidneys.
See? So, and what I'm also thinking, once the coronavirus hits your system, it could possibly also be a blood infection too.
Yeah, like almost like sepsis or something.
I wouldn't say like sepsis. Because sepsis can be cured with a blood transfusion.
Yeah, but have they thought of doing blood for transfusions on these people? Do they even have blood to transfuse after so many patients? No.
No.
So, I mean, it could be a cure. You know, I don't know.
It could. But we're looking at months of trying to find a possible donor.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Because you have O positive, you have B positive, A positive. You have so many different blood types
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
that a blood transfusion could take months.
You can't be one size fits all.
Right.
You know, and the only if you're O positive, you can take any blood type. So the thing is O positive or O negative, O neg.
Yeah, and if they're using immunoglobulin to try to cure themselves, are they hoarding all the blood too?
Red, is it O neg or O pos?
I think it's O positive is the universal.
Yeah, I think it's positive.
I thought it was O positive.
Negative usually has like that negative RH factor that you would have more potential mismatch with.
You know, so even a blood transfusion, you're going to be on a fucking waiting list for God knows who long.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Or like if your kidneys are shutting down,
Good luck.
good luck trying to find a kidney transplant.
Well, yeah, they'd have to keep you on dialysis basically forever, and then you'd be like trapped in the hospital.
Like, I even hate to sound like a dick saying that, but good fucking luck.
It's true, though.
My buddy's been on the transplant for 3 years now.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, there are ways this thing can be cured, but not even family matches blood types anymore for some god-awful reason. So from what I'm seeing, is this shit, there's basically no way to cure this.
Pretty much.
I mean, there's ways to treat it. Like if it is a blood infection, to run your blood through a filter system that's even humanly possible, that would catch this and run the blood literally back into the body.
Well, technically that's the kind of treatments that they were doing way back in the day when modern medicine began being birthed.
True.
True. But I'm saying it's still a possible solution.
Yeah, but if it's HIV-like, it's not gonna matter.
Not really, no.
No, because you'd have to make sure all these people don't have it in their blood, and who are the donors, and all that. Becomes a really dangerous situation really fast, you guys, and that's what I'm concerned about. That's what Red's concerned about. We're all trying to be here to keep you healthy and safe. Sunday we will be back with Journey into Freedom, and we'll be covering this more. We'll be on at our time together. I will be home for that this week, so that'll be a good show. Tune in for that full Journey into Freedom with Red and Scarlet, the Crimson Ladies. Tune in for that.
Hey, Scarlet.
Correct. Yes, Dwayne?
Can I just go ahead and say it now since we're on air?
What?
Actually, it's what you and Melissa talked about the other day. What you tried doing the other night?
Yeah. I mean, we could talk about that. I mean, I guess, if you'd like to, you know. Yeah, you could talk about that.
Once I get up and running, I will be joining. I can't remember the 3 letters, dang it.
FRN.
FRN.
It's right in front of you now. See?
You know what? I'm tired. I'm falling asleep on you guys again.
We're almost done. That's why we're wrapping up.
But ladies, it was an amazing night with both of you two again. It always is. I love talking to both of you about this because it's something strongly we all agree on.
Absolutely.
Red and Scarlet, you guys are fucking awesome. And I'm going to get off here and I'm going to go to bed. Red, I will message you everything later.
Okay?
Alright, guys, you guys have a beautiful night and thank you for letting me on.
You are welcome, Dwayne. Thank you.
Dwayne.
Thank you for calling into Clarity After Dark.
Yes.
Later.
Alright, so that's Dwayne, everybody. And, you know, he brought up good points tonight. You know, this is why we like to have these conversations as a group, to just have different mindsets and points of view. I know we've been talking about the coronavirus a lot, but this is really, honestly, the most important thing. And like I read from the Twitter trending topics tonight, it's not trending.
Okay, right before we wrap up, just so that we have a lighter note.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Apparently this is a new warning that doctors have to get out, and I feel the need that, since we're all like, oh, the doctors are law, we should listen to the doctors right now, and on this one I actually agree with them. I guess apparently we have to tell women not to stick wasp nests up their vajayjay.
Yeah, see, you know what? You brought this up to me earlier, and, you know, my first reaction was, whole lot of no. My second reaction was, yeah, whole lot of no. So, let us know about it, Red.
Apparently, somehow, somewhere, this has become some beauty trend myth that by putting, I guess, powdered wasp nests up your vajayjay, not just the wasp nests, but like the little nodes inside of them, specifically that have like the actual like larvae inside of it. It's supposed to rejuvenate and tighten your vagina.
No.
Okay? No, y'all. It doesn't.
Just no. I don't even care if it does. Just no. I don't care if it gave you, like, miracle powers. Okay? Just no.
Huh?
I just feel like that's something that you never should have to go through. Like, should I put potentially dangerous, venomous, small insect hive house in my pH balance? Right, in my pH balanced vagina, yes.
Should I do this? No, you should not. That's the answer. And, you know, like, we've got enough problems right now, guys. Okay? This is kind of, oh my lord, I hate to say this, but this is really, remembrance of, you know, Tide Pod eating.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on, guys.
I mean, I haven't heard of a lot of things. You know, these yoni steams.
Oh, right.
Yoni tea.
I've heard of some shit like steaming your JJ. Okay, but or stunning your butthole.
Mm-hmm.
That's like some new big thing now.
That is a big
JJ is also a new thing now.
right. Okay. I've heard about yoni steams. I've heard about yoni tea.
I'm not sunbathing any of those two parts of my body because I am that crazy person that'd be like, I will just do this for like 5 minutes and meditate and then I'm sunburned on with JJ.
No.
Or
No.
my beanhole.
No.
No. I know what sunburn
No,
is.
I am not being naked in front of you. No.
No.
That's a whole lot of nope.
Even on my own, in my own private land somewhere where I could be naked, nobody would see me, I'm not intentionally laying down, spreading my butt cheeks apart and being like, son, he's being directly into my bum.
Right.
Because again, I'm not the skin person. But it's been exposed to the skin that ain't never been exposed to no sunlight before. And it's just gonna instantaneously, like, I'm talking instantaneously, be like, your butter's on fire!
True.
Just saying.
Or, like we talked about also,
Who wants to white on a Sunday? Think about that. Just think about it.
just saturate in that for a minute.
You couldn't even lay in a bed with a sheet, okay, when you got a bad temper.
That's true.
And if you don't wipe, what will happen? You end up some nasty stuff all happening after that. Then you got a sunburn on top of it, so it, you know, poop, that's like infection. That's like one of the big things that spreads infection. So I'm just saying. This is not being intelligent. And the other thing that does not seem intelligent to me is, and there's a lot of it, this third answer sex stuff. Can't do it. I am not sticking sticks and twigs all up in my garage.
That's a whole lot of nope on that too.
Or making out with a jar of dirt.
Nope.
I can't do it. I can't.
Yeah, that's a whole lot of nope too. Just no.
Or molesting myself while bathing a piece of plant. No, I can't.
I'm not a part of that crowd. So, for those who are wondering, did the Crimson Ladies approve of wasps in the hoo-ha? No, we do not.
No, the wasp. We also really get a few of like food, anything of these answers. I really don't even think that you should be sticking like, I don't know, fruits and vegetables up in there. It's questionable. I know that that's weird because I'm like, oh, it's, you know, I should be like a natural if you want to use something natural, but you make sure you know how natural it is. Like you stick to the person that's what it is going on the beach. A
Right.
lot of our fruits and vegetables that we buy at the store are coated. It has like a wax coating on it.
Right.
Like, I don't know if you really want to use the ground type of book, but that's what it is. You know, just saying. Be kind to the baby. It's not going to be kind to you. That's really the bottom line, right? Come on. Don't be stupid.
Yeah, please treat your body nice. Please start researching and looking into things.
Don't just take somebody's word.
Right.
Go look it up yourself. Well, try to actually gain knowledge when you can.
Right.
But, you know, also be aware that we can't gain knowledge in everything. We can't always gain knowledge in everything. And that is truth and reality right there. We cannot always gain knowledge in everything because it's the coronavirus thing. Like we talked about earlier several times. You know, we are at the mercy of someone else telling us what a contagion is, what it's classified as, what its name is, all of this information. We are totally dependent on somebody else knows all of that. Because none of us are capable of actually attaining that knowledge for ourselves, and we have to trust that they're telling us the truth. But the bottom line is, we already know they lie in the past. Because that part says that they're going to continue to lie. I mean, a lot of times people just walk around lying with lying out there, lying holes, and it doesn't usually stop.
Right, and now Chinese tourists no longer permitted to enter Australia amid coronavirus.
Right?
Yeah, Australia's cut off Chinese travelers now. No Chinese travelers to Australia.
And again, this is exactly what who was saying they were going to be trying to prevent.
Yep, the WHO did say that.
They said that they can't make anybody listen to them too. They did say that.
Right, but they also could try to make people comply too. I know how they play games.
Right? That's the truth.
Mm-hmm. So, you know, I'm just concerned.
No news is just
Yep. So we just got to be ready for this. You know, there's lots of things going on. So many places have flooded already, you know, in January. You know, we've been seeing crop losses everywhere around the world. Meanwhile, France is fighting with their firefighters and their government. Earthquakes, yeah, volcanoes that tall, all types of stuff. I mean, it's been crazy this January. And so I'm just expecting for this February a whole crazy ride of itself. We have explosive moon news. Please tune in to explosive moon news on Sunday. Explosive moon news. Okay. Please check out our show on Sunday, Journey into Freedom, with your host Red, co-host me, here on the Freedom Revolution Network. If you like what we do, please consider donating to our program. You can either donate one time or monthly. Anything and everything helps. We appreciate you, even if you can't give anything. We just want you to share. So share us to your friends, share us to your loved ones, get the message out, help educate people around you. Anything else you want to add, Red? And from the land of 10,000 lakes and from the highest desert valley in the great American Southwest, good night, universe.